Kevin, I'm gonna have to read you a little card. We want to talk to you about a couple other matters here that we got.
Couple other matters.
Yeah. And we'll sit down and tell you all what it's about. Now, since you are in custody on that other warrant, before we can talk to you, we need to do this. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. In other words, at any time you feel uncomfortable, just stop. Do you understand each of them rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes, I understand the rights.
You understand them?
I know. Are y'all arresting me?
On that warrant right there, yes sir, you're under arrest.
I mean, no, I'm talking about,
You're arrested only on that warrant right there, on that College Park warrant.
Yeah.
That's the only warrant that you're arrested on.
man, I'm telling you
Sounds like
something.
you got that pretty well understood.
Yeah, I got that understood. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you just scared the fuck out the shit out of me.
Police do this stuff all the time. We got all we're doing is reading you that card because the law says we got to read you the card. You understand what I'm saying? But we have to know that you have been read the card and that you understand it.
Okay.
Before we can really talk to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, what y'all want to talk to me about?
We talked about some reports right there that we've gotten down there in the complex. Some people's gone in and some items taken. You go in and out these apartments a lot.
Every day.
And you look around, and we have got a list of the property that's taken.
Right.
Maybe you've seen something in one of them apartments.
Yeah. You're one of the maintenance guys over there. When I was over there just a little bit ago, I talked to Doc some about it too.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we got you under arrest on this other warrant,
so y'all
we want to talk to you some more about that stuff. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see you. I can understand where you're coming
You
from.
understand.
So I can understand this.
Do you want, does Bob need to read that to you again, or did you understand what he read?
No, I understand what he read, but let me get this perfectly clear what you're saying.
Okay.
With
The only thing
the card and with
I'll
that.
give you my card just so you know who I am.
Okay.
This is the only one that you've been charged with.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's out of College Park.
Okay.
Okay. And I showed you the teletype where we confirmed the warrant last night.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only charge that there is.
Right. Okay. Now, let me say this now. If I read me that right, so I can let y'all know that I fully understand. Y'all can ask me some questions about other things that going on up on my property.
I can ask you what you did on vacation last year. I can ask you what day or night you was born on. I can ask you anything I want. And you can choose whether to answer me or not, or...
Nobody's making you do anything. You understand what we're doing?
Yeah.
We certainly want to ask you some questions.
Yeah,
Because we've got some concerns and we want to ask you questions.
You ever see police didn't want to ask questions?
Yeah, really.
Said should not one. Like I said, my brother police officer.
Is it where?
City of Atlanta.
City of Atlanta. Now I'm PD. By him being a police officer, that made, King. I was King. My mom didn't raise me, right? I'm just, just saying, I was raised in the streets. I really didn't get to know my mom till I really got grown, but I was always around her. Man, I had trouble, accepting the fact that I knew my stepdad didn't care for us. He got his funny ways and all this, but to me, he took my mom away from me. Cause she looked at him, she take his work before she take ours. Kind of hurt. And then, talking to my sister and them and stuff like this, and he kind of tried to do with them. But we deal with it. And I came up hard in my life. I came up in the street. I've learned. But two things that in my whole life I'm proud of is coming between me and my sister, my brother, and my two sisters, me and my two brothers. And went to the service, and one decided to be Atlanta PD. By him being Atlanta PD, my mom couldn't get me out of the street. My brothers, me, my sister, my old sister tried. But I respect my brother, and I love him with all my heart. For him to be a law enforcement, from that point I said, man, if I get in trouble now, it really embarrassed him, especially if he had to come get me, you know. And also, if y'all, you know, you read, if you can look at my record, I got a record. And I'm not proud of it, but I'm proud of one thing myself. I done did some time, and I'm seeing a lot of guys do some time come out be fucked up, screwed up in the head. They screwed up in the head. They think society owe them something. You know, my thing, don't nobody owe me nothing. I owe myself and my youngest coming
take
up.
care of yourself. You ain't nobody else.
Ain't nobody else will. You know, and I have taken things in my life, and I have had things taken from me, and that's one of the worst feelings in the world. And it's ugly. Now, by me sitting here with y'all, I understand that, you know, it's why. You know, y'all didn't say nothing about that girl as of yet. But if I can do anything in this world, if I can remember anything that might be of help,
Well, while we're
I
talking,
don't, you know.
Well,
Please
you know, is
believe
there
me.
anything that you can
Please
tell us?
believe me, I would do so.
Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Ain't nothing I can tell you, cause like I said, I don't know them, you know, and the couple of times I seen them, you know, they is a nice couple, you know. If like that happened to that girl, she was nice, and you know they got a nice little baby.
well, while we're talking about that thing, and you brought it up, and I'm the lead investigator on that case,
Yes, sir.
and so I have privy to just about all the information. And I'm not convinced that this was something that was supposed to happen. In other words, I think this was something that just happened. This wasn't any premeditated, any planned thing. I think it was one of the spur of the moment things. And there's a lot of information on that case.
Right.
I mean, we keep asking questions, gathering more and more, but there was a lot of information there on the scene.
Yeah, I remember when we, remember the next day we came out there in force, we had a bunch of officers and a few detectives out there, and we were like stopping everybody coming and going and talking to everybody. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember, you know,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are the kind of things that just help us a lot, because we find people that saw things and saw
Well, that's
people.
one thing that I'm
stuff
sure
like
of, that when anything happens, regardless of what it is, somebody always,
Somebody sees
always
something.
sees something.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, you just
So
have
I
to
didn't
look
know.
up that right.
I didn't know that anything happened till Doc came and woke me up.
You was out there Monday though. We was out there all day Monday.
I was not there Monday.
You were working Monday.
Yeah, I was working Monday.
Right.
But
You were there in the property working Monday, right?
yeah, I was there. What I'm saying is, I was asleep when Doc came up. Cause
What time was it?
I think Doc came up at my house by about 6 o'clock, something like that.
In the evening.
Yeah, cause he came right on in. Cause I was so tired that I was gonna take that day off, you know, but I said, well, I'm going and work, because I was out the previous Monday with a toothache, you know, and I worked, and I ain't had no ticket. I think I went out about 10 minutes after 5.
You about like work orders? Or?
Yeah, work on and stuff like this. And I went out about 10 minutes after 5. And I had my radio on, said they called me. I said, come on out. But hell, I went out.
You did or didn't?
I went to sleep. Yeah, that's what I mean by one.
Oh, you mean while you're supposed to be working, you were sleeping?
Yeah.
On Monday?
Yeah.
How did they furnish you an apartment over there? Is that
No, they give me a 20% discount.
Is that all? 20%?
20%, yeah, man. I mean,
Well, they pay you a high
$10.
salary though, right?
man, you know what I said.
Man, I seen
We
that
just
guy
got
money
away.
you pulled out a while ago.
That's $19. And I went and got that.
I
Show
had
something.
$19.
I went and got that. This guy stayed up on me. He said, I saw him called the sheriff, marshal, do our, put the things on the door, right? The eviction doors on the door. So Bella was telling me they come to ask me who stay in 208. I told him get light skinned, got a red guy, right? And I said I can't get him here because that man don't do nothing, you know. Every time I see him, he at home working on the computer, and he do a pressure wash and stuff like that. And I know he had a wreck in his car the other day, and he riding around in a rental car. So when I seen him, I said, come here, you know, all that. I said, man, the police looking for you. He said, what? What for? And I said, man, they looking for you. And then he gave me $20. Right, because I put a door up for him about a month or so ago, and he said he was gonna straighten me for it, and just be doing something, and cause he appreciate I do a lot of stuff and extra for him, and so he gave me $20, and I started laughing to myself, you know, cause I didn't ask for the 20, you know, I ain't had but 9 in my pocket, and 20 came in hand on Friday, yeah, and I am kind of spooked up by it, but they had to put one on it though. Yeah.
Dispossessory warrant.
Yeah.
Eviction notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess he won't be there much longer.
Yeah, well, he, like you said, he's kind of slow in getting work done because his truck broke down, and then he just had a wreck in his car.
What kind of work's he in?
He do pressure washing.
washing.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That ought to be good this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, it's finna get hot. Yeah. But that just, you know, that's something.
What's that guy's name?
I can't think of that.
Do they like drive that pressure washer all over the place? And
Yeah, but I ain't never seen him with no truck though. They already have got the little black car.
what he hauls a pressure washer on that black car?
No, like he said he got a truck. And I ain't never seen him in no truck.
Oh, let's see. He says he's got a truck. You didn't see it.
No, I ain't seen no truck. But officers, like I said, you know, y'all want to ask me some questions. And if I can help you or if I can remember something, you know, just ask. You know, just ask. Because way I feel, you know, that was bad, you know. And I ain't never been on no property that somebody, you know, that something this bad happened. And it kind of shook everybody up. You know, even like yesterday, I went to do a work order, and this girl came to the door with a knife. And she asked me, you know, show me some ID. And I showed her my badge. You know, she said, yeah, come on in. And
So, and that was after she called for a work order?
no, it was after. But, you know, they call a work order then probably that morning or the day before.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't get to it that day, that same day, I go the next day and take care of it.
She was already scared.
Yeah, because we had put the papers out. You know, yesterday we had put notices out as far as what the police is, our situation.
What did the paper say? I'm not familiar with those.
Nothing but, you know, we want to show y'all that we're working with, you know, police and stuff like this. And our main concern if they're safety and whatnot. So, you know, basically along that line, I can't get one word because Maria and Edie typed it up.
Calvin, on those work orders, as long as we're on that subject, how How does that whole system work with that apartment complex? How do you, because at some point somebody gives you a work order and tells you to go fix whatever at that apartment, right?
Right. Okay.
And then how do you access the apartment and all that?
Okay, here's how we do. We Bevel them right to work orders up. People call in or they come by, right? And they'll give us a work order. We'll come up there and pick them up, you know. And we go through them like I be doing. I write all mine down. Whatever I got, I write the apartment number down, and I write the key number down that I need for that day, and I put the date on what I need. Sometimes I write down if I don't need to keep going apartment, I write it down on the side, you know. But in working the work order, you have, let me see this pen.
Yeah.
Let me see the pen.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, let me get this stuff. Okay, the work order, you might have what, the date it came in, whatnot. Date it came in. You put that date up there and then resident's name. Okay, resident name right here. And they put the resident name right here. They put the unit number.
Is that like apartment number?
Yeah, apartment number right there. Okay, and that's put bevel number right. Then they write down the problem. Okay, down here, we have to put the time we go in now and the time we leave out of there. Then check out complete. And then we put the date and our name.
Okay, well, some point between the time they come in and make the complaint and the time you go there to fix it, you have to get a key for that place, right?
Yeah, okay, now this where you get the key. We got a box downstairs and we got a box upstairs. Like, man, Mark been telling Doc, cause we've been having, like folk been getting checks and stuff missing, you know. And, okay, for an example like this now. This guy got an apartment broke in, right up in 612, all right? He got an apartment broke in. Now, thing to do, you call the police, right? Yeah, because I've been in his apartment. He got a computer at the gazoo, 2, 3 of them, you know, stereo system, all that. They got all that. But the thing is, he didn't want no police report. He don't want nobody in the house.
What?
I don't know. See, working like this, talking to Beverly and them, we figured there's nobody breaking the apartment.
Insurance scam or something?
Insurance scam. But see, there's another thing here. We got, like I said, people checks and stuff get missing. And you have 2 or 3 roommates and stuff like this. Now, I'm thinking, it might be the roommate, but you can't take them people lightly. You know, somebody might be going in there getting their checks. You know, and mostly it is female. Like the girl up in 516, when she got her check, man, it said she got $5,000 out of her account. That's too damn much money. You know, but
She had $5,000 in there?
I don't know if she had $5,000 or not, but to have that much money missing out your account and somebody around him, wherever, writing bad checks, to write that many amount of checks, they got to have a picture ID, Georgia driver license, some kind of ID to, for them folks in these stores to do that, to let that go by. And I'm trying to figure out, you can't just go and get no driver license in nobody's name.
You've given it a lot of thought, huh?
Huh?
You've given this a lot of thought from these complaints?
No, not from the complaint. I'm just by street knowledge. You know, like I said, I raised up in the street. People can do some shafty things. They can mess your life up. But to cash somebody checks, I never liked the checks or credit card. When I was married, I had them all, and I tell you, I never used. I always let my wife go do it. I paid for mine for cash, and but to let her, to watch my wife write her checks and stuff like this, it's very hard. It's very hard for somebody to use your stuff.
Kevin,
like
we got off the subject a little bit. I want to learn more about how this works. Just the whole process of fixing somebody's apartment when they have a problem.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Because we got to the part here about, they come in and they make the complaint, and then you went down here and you started telling me about how you document the date and time and everything.
Okay,
And
you got
at some point you either carry like a master key to the whole complex.
I don't master key.
Or there's a key system that I'm just trying to understand what the key system is. I want you to see if you can explain it to me.
Okay, the key system like this here. And key system like this here. You sit down, like you got your date, you came in, the resident's name, and the apartment number. It is. Okay. Then you got down here, time you enter, and time you leave. Let's see. Time in. Time out. Okay. You put the time you go in now. Okay, when you complete it, put the time out. You put the date. Okay, and then you put your name over here. Last thing you do, put your name. Or whatever you write in incomplete. But you got a little box up here saying, whether it's complete or comment. We might need some pause and stuff like this now. Okay, that's it for the ticket. But when you, as far as keys, if you need to kill something, each one of us got a key. Carl had one, I had one, Mark had one, and Beverly got one to the key box. They got one upstairs, one to the downstairs, and
Two separate key boxes,
two separate key boxes.
and they're both in the office area somewhere.
Yeah.
Where exactly are they?
Back there in the back, and I was way back there. You been in the shop? My shop?
No, I haven't.
Okay, when you go in the front shop, you go downstairs on the side. You have to go all the way in the back, and the key box sitting up on the side, right on your right hand side. Beverly key is upstairs in Maria's office in the closet where you keep all the supplies at.
So both of those boxes have like what? A key for every apartment, or how?
Key for every apartment. Same key they got upstairs, we got downstairs.
Okay.
And sometimes, that's big.
Is there any kind of maintenance on that box? Does anybody check it, or?
What you mean?
Is it?
Well,
is there like a log when you take a key out? You log something.
See, I'm gonna show something. Cause a painter come in and say, a painter come in and want a key, they tell us to give it to him. Carpet guy come in. Want a key to a unit.
Or out or blue key?
Nobody signs in or out.
It's messed up. Gosh.
And see, like I told Mark, when Mark first came here, and see, more property I ever worked on, we have a log that who we get his key to, because they responsible for it. And some keys get lost, and some keys, like if we give a painter key from downstairs, it'll end up upstairs.
Just he turns it in upstairs.
Yeah, he'll put it in the drop box instead of just going, he'll put it in the drop box. And
do you have? Are you able to access those key boxes even when you're not working? I mean, whether you're working or not, can you actually get to the key boxes and like if there was a lockout or something like that? Do you handle lockouts?
Oh yeah, because there's a lockout. See, being on call, being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people got locked out. Being on call, just so people You gotta have a key to the shop to get to the locks. Cause all the locks and stuff, the key box, all that right there in one spot. You know, and they have that.
So on the keys that you have that you carry for work,
Yeah,
you can get into. Can you get into the office?
I can. Yeah.
Okay. Can you get into the manager's office? Isn't that where one of the key boxes is?
Yeah.
So can you get in there?
Yeah.
And then there's a lockbox in there, a key box, and it's locked too, isn't it? Oh, it's not locked. So you don't need another key for that.
Yeah. You need a key,
Hmm.
but normally it's
Normally it's just not locked.
just not locked.
Is that the same way it is downstairs?
Ours stay locked.
Oh, yours does stay locked.
Yeah, ours stay locked.
Okay, so basically-
padlock on that.
Basically, 24 hours a day, any day of the week, if you need to get a key to get to somebody's apartment to help them with a lockout or whatever the case may be, you do have access.
Yeah.
Okay.
All three of us do.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's.
Is there any kind of like, there's not an alarm system on that office, is there?
Oh yeah, we got an alarm system on that. You just can't go up there now.
So anytime you do go in there, you gotta punch in a keypad?
Yeah.
But what about when you use the maintenance shop? Is there a,
Alarm system?
yeah?
No.
No.
The one thing about that, right before I got here, Doc had that key box broken into
Which one?
downstairs.
Mhm.
It was broken into, and he bolted up the door because it comes from the pool side, right? Let's say bathroom. Come on, okay. Hall. Shop. Got the shop door there, and it's pool entrance, right? Got a door there. Okay, this was just a regular. I guess before I got there, it was just a regular door, you know. But somebody had kicked the door in and broke in the key box. They tore the key box up. Well, they got in the keys or not, I don't know. I wasn't here during that time, but they got a bunch of stuff because this here straight down the hall. There's a straight hall, and our front door is right here. Right, but the key box and stuff sits right here. All our locks and everything sits right there.
So if somebody is locked out at night, you have to go to this one to get them back
Yeah.
in.
You have to go to that one to get them back in.
In that shop, is there also a key maker in there?
Yep.
Okay. So if somebody needs a
maker
key
says
made,
all right there.
somebody needs a key made or whatever, you can make it for them.
Mm-hmm. But thing is, we don't make keys unless it's come from upstairs. Unless Maria there with them tell us get a ticket. Just like mailbox lock. Just like they need a mailbox lock. Sometimes the key gets so screwed up with the punches and stuff. It's same key be on the key, but key ring don't fit their mailbox lock. So we have to break the mailbox lock and make another key. But making another key, we have to make sure the same key downstairs, you got to put one upstairs.
So to make a key, you have to produce another one.
Yeah, you have to produce another and take it upstairs. Yeah, like that. And that means the key system is up. Our key system is really messed up because I suggested, who did I talk to? And me and Mark were talking to Doc as far as way our keys becoming, because we have a headache with these keys. We don't know where the key at, or sometimes the key might not even be turned back in. And then we have to go change the lock. If we can't find the key, we got to change the lock. And that means that more money that we spending, you know, because you do so many locks, they're like, if pigs get locked outside, we had to go and make them a key or change the key for them, get them in. You know,
Where do you get the blanks from? Are they right there with the machine?
all of them right there with the machine.
Is there any inventory kept with them? How many is being used?
You don't know. No.
Y'all got a loose system.
I know, but see, I'm telling you.
Let me ask you this: how are those keys, the keys that are in the boxes, how are they marked?
What you mean?
I mean, are they marked with marked with the unit number, like on a key chain or something? How do you know? Like
no. The keys marked with the mailbox number.
the mailbox number. So when you get a work order and you need to go fix a certain apartment, right? How do you know what key to go get?
Okay, how do I know what key to go get? Okay, say I answer mine like mine though.
Okay.
And
And you're what? You're 209, right?
209. I don't know why, because I leave my door open. Even on the weekend, I go upstairs with my mom. My door be wide open. I don't ever have to like my man. Don't nobody come see me. Okay, but my key, just say my key, I'm staying 209, right? I stay in 209, but my key number is 30. That's the 30th apartment coming from one building. You know, all up in one to my apartment, that's 30. So this would be on the tag. That 30 be on the tag. So I look in the book. We have a book, like a notebook. All the keys and stuff typed in, apartment number, key number, on right to the side of it. And
That's messed up, man.
yeah, messed up. See, like me and Mark, we don't run that. You know, we don't run that. But we get stuff from the office saying this lady here, running investigation. She is the man of the investigation because some checkbooks of her done got stolen, right? And her apartment, me and Doc was the last one in her unit. Okay, we working together. I think we put a heat in.
Which one is that, Kelvin?
516.
516.
Yeah, we put a heating system in up there. Okay, I think we did that about a day and a half, something like that. What is the heating system? Oh, we had to go up in our thing called raccoon and stuff get up in the apartment and tore all the stuff, all the ventilation and stuff up. Okay. She said that somebody, don't stole some checks from her. Okay. Me and Doc, I'm not the type to just run around somebody's apartment, and because that's your job. You come in somebody's apartment, your ass supposed to be working in the laundry room. You way back there in the bedroom or the other bathroom. You ain't got no business back there. If they come in there and see you in there, that's your job. To me, it should be an automatic dismissal or a hell of a reprimand.
For being somewhere you don't belong.
Yeah, being somewhere you don't belong.
Right.
And
Would she accuse you and Doc of that? Or?
no, she ain't accused nobody. I mean, she just said somebody been in an apartment, and I'm thinking, I don't got $5,000 take from me. Ain't nowhere in hell I'm gonna stay out here because I don't trust nobody. But just think, she wanted her locks changed. We changed her lock for her.
Well, she must have felt somebody came in and took them, right?
What, a check? Yeah, but she got two roommates.
I mean, she must have thought someone with a key came in and took her checks, right?
Yeah, she probably did. And the thing is, what I'm trying to say, she got two roommates, right? A guy and his another female. They got keys. Okay? They got girlfriend and boyfriend. She got friends. See what I'm saying? It could be, it can go either way, anybody. It could be anybody, okay? And I ain't say it could have been one of us. I don't know, but I knew it wasn't me. You know, and I truly don't feel Doc or Mark would do something like that. They don't need to. Neither one of us does.
Hey, Calvin, you know, like a minute ago when we were just talking about, you know, somebody, a maintenance guy or whatever, being somewhere that they didn't belong,
Right.
maybe getting caught like that or whatever. Has that happened to you at all?
No. Mm-mm. Once, I'm tell you what, once I did, I did something. Somebody asked me something. But I got the wrong unit, you know. But I just put the shit right there by the door. You know,
Is this like something that happened a long time ago or what?
yeah, about
Sounds like you're having to kind of think about this, right?
About a couple months ago, because stuff like that, you know, it don't amount to that. But the woman just got mad because she had some stuff inside her door, like maintenance, been there. And I told her when it came up, I said, yeah, I put it right by the door. And but I found out it didn't supposed to go there. So you get caught up like that.
Well, where was that? Do you remember what apartment that was?
I'm thinking about Aidville. I can't think. Anyway.
Anything like that, like recently happened to you?
Hmm?
Did anything like that recently happen to you?
Yeah, like light bulbs.
Huh?
Some light bulbs. You know, I probably took, the girl asked me for, see, Maria them comes to get on us by doing things, for people just stopping her on the street asking her to do something for them, stuff like this.
If they want to work order.
Yeah, they want to work on it. They want to work on it. They don't go in no apartment. Even if you in there, the resident at home, you in there, resident at home. If they want something else done, you tell them you need to go to the office, cause I'm here to do this here. I got a certain amount of time to do this, and I'm out of there. If you want that done, I said you call down there, and while I'm here, I go get the work off and come back up here and do it while I'm there. You know, and Maria, she's very strict about that. You know, and when that lady there chew your ass out, you know your ass been bit. Yeah. So.
She seemed like the kind that could.
Yeah, Maria, I'm telling you something. Maria's something else. But.
So what happened with that? I mean, I'm not all following you. What happened with that? What you talking about?
Something about light bulbs. You got your ass chewed by some.
Yeah, because I took a light bulb. I gave somebody something that without a work off. That's all it is.
I mean, what, did they want the light bulbs or what?
Did
they ask you for light bulbs?
Yeah, they asked me for light bulbs and.
Which apartment? You remember which apartment that was?
It's in 916.
916.
Yeah. No, she didn't want. She didn't ask me for the bulb. 906. I think 906, 911 asked me for the bulb, but I'm running, trying to take care of myself. So I dropped the bulbs off at the wrong apartment. But getting caught up in doing things for people without a work off. You know, that's about the only.
Okay, now, so the light bulbs were supposed to go to who? Which apartment?
If I'm not mistaken, 906, 911, one of them. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, and you ended up taking them where?
916.
Okay, so did you have keys to the apartment?
No. The lady, she had somebody with that. The babysitter with that.
Did you? So I mean, did you like knock on the door and the babysitter came to the door, or did you?
She knocked on the door. She came to the door. She came.
You knocked on the door?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you were going to give light bulbs to someone that had asked you for light bulbs.
Asked for the light bulbs, and then
from 906 or 911, you said.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. Because that was.
And then you accidentally
I
went
think
to
that was
916.
Monday. It was Monday or Friday. See, like I said, when I go on the west side, I'm sure when I go on the west side, hanging out with my friend, we be hard and hard, you know. And sometimes we get like Monday, I was so tired, I didn't want to go to work. Cause I got home, man, about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, then had to turn right up around and get up. Mm-hmm. And I was so tired, that's when I went home early.
Calvin, that thing that happened, when was that? Was that like just the other day, like yesterday or today or something? That light bulb incident.
Light bulb?
Yeah, when did that happen?
If I'm not mistaken, Tuesday. Yeah.
I think it was Tuesday?
Yeah.
So just a couple days ago? And you said you didn't have the key for that place.
No, didn't need it.
And you knocked on the door?
Home. Yeah, they were at home.
But wasn't there, remember when you were arrested tonight? And all those keys you had in your pocket? Wasn't it one of those keys for 916?
Yep.
How come?
I had a work order for it. That's the only one I didn't get to do. Cause Doc called me. I was in 9 building then.
Okay, so today there was a work order for 916?
Yeah, I was in the Curtis House apartment when y'all called me. Carlos. Yeah. And see that's another thing. They're like,
wasn't 916 upset at you the other day when you showed up to the wrong place with the light bulbs? Didn't somebody like call the office or something and complain
yeah, she
about
called. Yeah, Paula had called.
And then that was just a couple of days ago, and she was upset about you coming there, right?
Yeah, they ain't gonna write all this shit down on the ticket.
And then they did a work order. That same apartment did.
Yeah.
And
by
they gave
6, 7 damn items.
And then they gave you the work order.
Yeah.
Who gave you the work order?
Bev did.
Beverly did today.
Yeah.
Today she did.
Yeah.
And then after you got that, you went and got the key.
Yeah, got the key.
So did you get over there today?
Nope.
You didn't make it over there?
No, because y'all called me.
So you were about to go over there?
Yeah, I was heading over there then when I got the call. I was in Carlos' apartment, 901. But see, I'm tell you, like, I don't sit here telling you about the key make our system look bad. But in there, hell it is. Yeah, it is. But, cause we
basically the way it's set up, if any one of you wanted to go into, any apartment at any time, there's nothing.
We can go in the apartment at any given time, but we ain't no master key. We don't have no master key.
With a system like that, they don't need a master key.
No.
You just go down there in the box and get what you want.
Yeah, or just like when them vendors come in and stuff like this, ain't no telling what they do with the keys, or how long they have them, or whatnot. Cause sometimes we give keys out, and when they come back, hell, we can't even get in the damn lock. So system stuff. That's really bad.
No, that's okay. Just these incidents, like we were talking about, where somebody like a maintenance guy is somewhere where he doesn't belong, and I mean sometimes it's an accident, or sometimes it's on purpose or whatever, right? Like what you were telling me was an accident with the light bulbs, right?
Pure accident. But
is that the only time besides the one that you had to think about that was a couple months ago? Are those the only times that has happened to you?
Yeah, the only time. But see,
you didn't have another similar incident like today, did you? Mm-hmm. So today, every place you went, you were supposed to be, and you had a work order for that place?
Yeah. Every time. Had a work order for it, and
you probably worked in every apartment over there at one time or another, haven't you?
No, I'll tell you the truth, it's some apartment people just don't call. And when you go in there, well, you don't want to go in there no way. Cause they okay, just like what apartment number? One apartment out there we don't ever go in. Okay, just like 919. Yeah, 919. Okay, they got him. Only time he called when he got a water leak or that bathtub back there is they ain't getting enough pressure. He got so much trash. I mean, his dishes stacked up to him. Then they got these two what you call them, the hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Wiener dogs.
Yeah, boxes. He got them, and that's what the house smell like. Smell like dog. You know, they don't scratch dog carpet.
We've had occasion to go into places like that before, and they're hasty.
Yeah, they filthy, man. Yeah. You know, and a lot of the keys we give out, some of them be vacant units. You know, but still, we don't write nothing down. We don't say who got that key, whatnot. Yeah. But I guarantee after this, well, it should be in the process now of rectifying that.
Calvin, when did you start over there at Ashley Lakes?
I'm not sure, around by August.
What, August?
Yeah. That's something like that.
Been working there full time ever since August.
He even got a couple certificates. He's got one certificate.
Who'd you work for before? Because you said in the car, you told me that you've been working as a maintenance guy
I
for
worked
17 years, right?
I worked for Jason Property Service. I worked for, but they out of business now. I worked for.
What's it called? Jason Property Service?
Yeah.
Where was that out of?
On Camp Creek.
Camp Creek Parkway?
Yeah.
Was it, and then you did like several different complexes?
Well, back then we used to ride around.
Like they were contracted to do maintenance work for several different complexes? Is that how that worked?
It was a contract within, Jason was a contract within the company. And
do you remember what complexes that you worked for? I mean, that you actually did maintenance work in?
Charlestown, Reid Park, Charlestown, Reid Park, Club Kenilwood, Randy Chase, Bradford Square, Bradford Jason, Bodo South, Hampshire House. All of them was one company, Jason Private Service on them. And I left there doing subcontracting work, you know, like fixing roofs and stuff like this after folk. And I got back into maintenance, started working for who I worked for then? Got a job out here in South Cobb with Beverly.
With Beverly?
Yeah.
What, same Beverly that's in the office?
Yeah, she's one, I worked with Beverly and King something out here in Cobb, off Cobb Parkway. And both of them left town when I hit the Ridgecrest. And I quit Ridgecrest. My truck broke down. I had a personal problem with the kids and stuff. I had to move back on the west side.
What kids?
What kids? My kid, my son and stuff. He was acting real rebellious then.
That's a 15-year-old?
Yeah.
You got others?
I got one oldest son. I'm
Who's your youngest?
27, 15.
Any girls?
No girls. It's 2 boys.
Okay, we got some incident reports where people have filed police reports on items taken down there at the complex and at Ashley Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about any of those?
Nope. I haven't heard about nothing being taken other than the incident
in the
with the
apartments
check.
a good bit, you might have recognized some of this stuff. What we like to do is just go through one at a time and see if you've recognized any of that property where it shouldn't have been.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna start with the most recent and go backwards. Got one over here on February 12th. This is in 101, apartment 101. Let's see. Somebody got in somehow. Maybe a key. No forced entry. And there's a lot of things taken here. CD player, Zenith, VCR, microwave. A bunch of checks were taken. Some clothes. White smoke detector, picture frame, curling iron, some change apparently that was laying around. That's the most recent one that's on file. So somebody, this is apparently a place that has not been having problems, and somebody went in either with a key or somehow got in. The place was locked when the resident left. Somebody got in and took.
I don't remember none of the. I can't say that I remember any of the stuff that was taken, but when she first moved in, and I'm getting this in from Beverly, that she was late with her rent, and she was late with her rent when she first moved in.
Do you know what the name is of that resident over there at 101?
Nope.
But you said you know it's a lady then, right?
Yeah. A big old tall, big lady.
You done any work orders over there at all?
Yeah, I've done a couple of things.
Have you? Plus that's the building next to yours, right?
No, yeah, that's one next to the office. That
So
first building right there?
Just to the right of your building though, right? When you're facing your building?
Yeah, to the right of my building.
Between your building and the office?
Right.
Okay. All right.
I don't know none of this.
Anything else that you know about that case at all?
Nope.
Okay. Did you know that?
What I heard. No, I know she said her apartment been burglarized.
Who did she say?
No, got it from the office.
Okay, so you did hear that it had been burglarized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's one here on January 22nd at 6:02.
6:02. Okay.
Somebody apparently entered with a key or somehow got in without forcing a door or a window. And they got a Beretta 9mm pistol, Springfield 30-06 rifle with a scope and a sling, 20 gauge shotgun, stereo system apparently, some jewelry, a diamond ring, another ruby ring that was gold. Did you hear about that one?
Nothing about that.
Did you ever do any work orders at 6:02?
Yeah, I say I'm work a lot of. So you gotta understand. You gotta understand this here.
You gotta do work orders anyone that needs it.
Yeah, anyone that needs it.
I understand.
And I basically don't been in. I've basically been in a lot of these apartments.
No,
so
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. I'm just trying to, I'm just checking as we go through these things. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it was that you had a work order there, or how many you've had over there, or if it's been more than one?
Never been more than one.
It has been more than one?
More than one.
Remember how long ago or anything?
Nope. Can't figure out how long it's been.
All right. We got one on January the 4th at 6:12. I think you.
Okay, that's what it was on 6:12.
You already told us about that one, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what you know about that, because this is another one that somebody apparently got in with a key or somehow got in a locked residence without forcing a door or a window.
No, that was
And they took out a bunch of computer equipment. Let's see, Got a home theater system that was taken, some rings.
Remember me telling about, I just said that because when I got from the one, he didn't do no report on that.
Where here's a report.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm getting that from Beverly. Beverly told me.
You mean he didn't do a report with the complex?
What do you
He
mean?
did a police report. 'Cause that's
Well, he did. Well, right now, see, he did a police report, but just say me and Beverly talking, and I'm like, why he didn't want? She told me he didn't want no police report. He didn't want nobody coming in there to take fingerprint and stuff like this. And which when he came up to the office, he went mad, but he told us somebody had climbed on the balcony, and came to his patio door, whatnot.
What made him think that?
I don't know. But yeah, I went down there that day and changed a lot. Yeah, the day it happened, I changed a lot.
Did you know this person?
Did I know him?
Yeah, did you know the resident there at 612?
No, I didn't know him personally.
Had you ever done any work orders there before that day?
Yes, I had.
You have?
Yeah.
Remember if it was like more than one time or how many times?
I don't know. It got to be more than one time because one time I went in there for his toilet and went in there, he had a garbage disposal was clogged up and stopped. But mostly we go in there for that, We had them work on it, and I guess they get them garbage disposal as priority.
Kelly, today when we needed to go, you wanted to go to your apartment to lock it up, and you had to go inside your apartment to get your keys to lock it up. You had some computers in there that were just laying on a table.
Oh, they don't work. I got them from Greg.
From Greg?
Yeah, Tink. Yeah, he's the one gave them computers, but none of this shit work.
Oh, why did he give them to you?
Because he thought I was going to get dot wife to hook them up, but she said that shit's so old. She fixed on the computer window, and I had her to go up there and check.
Where'd they come from?
Off his property.
Do you know?
I don't know exactly where they come from because he brought them over there, and like I told him, I take them up to my damn dump. No, they ain't stolen. I wouldn't even have them in there. Yeah.
How many did you have in there?
I got 2 monitors, and what you call it?
PC, the keyboard.
No, I got one keyboard. That might work, but one you put your disc in.
PC, the computer itself.
Yeah, that.
One or how many of those?
One. Don't know how to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No wonder they got rid of it.
Yeah.
You said that on that one, on 612, you said that he had come and made a comment that whoever came in, climbed up the balcony and came in, what, sliding glass door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sliding glass door.
So why did you need to change the locks?
He wanted the lock changed. He requested for the lock to be changed. And we couldn't, by him having somebody entering his unit, the department was obliged to do that.
So did you do that same day then?
Same day.
All right, we got one here on December 29th. It happened between sometime in the afternoon of December 29th and December 30th. So just a few days after Christmas here at 101. Am I pulling off the wrong stack here? No. So we had more than one at 101. Yeah. The first one I told you about happened on February the 12th. Well, actually, February 12th to February the 14th.
Yeah.
And then another one there at 101, which is a building to the right of yours. Again in December. So let's see here. This time the sliding glass door was broken. apparently she had the bar down to lock it, and it was somehow broken. An entry was made through the sliding glass door. So this is another sliding glass door incident. White Toshiba satellite laptop computer, Panasonic video cassette recorder, some money orders that were blank, totaling $860. Some rings, tennis bracelet, telephone, a cordless phone. Are you familiar with that?
Nope.
Well, apparently she's somebody that you talk to from time to time, and she had talked to you about that other one. She didn't say anything about this one here, or when that one happened, did she mention that's the second time or anything?
Yeah, the second time, this one.
Mm-hmm.
When it was December?
Yeah, this is December.
See, that one, this talking in the office, we felt that it wasn't broken. You know, because that day I went down there and changed the lock for her. She didn't want to let me in the apartment.
Huh.
I don't know. Yeah, because she didn't want me to see she still had her shit.
Another insurance thing?
Yeah. See, guys, believe it or not, they do that a lot out there. You know, but they have to get a report. They have to get a report. So.
Just to pull off their insurance scam. They need to
I don't know if it's an insurance scam or not, but I don't know what them folks be thinking, man. And I don't.
Here's another one. This is a few days earlier, somewhere between December 24th and December 27th at apartment 808.
808. 808. Big boy. Yeah.
The resident came home and found that the sliding glass door was slightly ajar.
Is that a downstairs apartment? 808.
Downstairs apartment.
So he wasn't certain as to whether or not he left it open, unlocked, or what, but he came home and he found it open. And there wasn't any force, so somehow somebody got in there and apparently opened the sliding glass door or got in the sliding glass door somehow.
See, that's another thing. A lot of them people, they be doing that. They'll leave in a rush. Some of them go to sleep with the patio doors open. You know, and they're in the downstairs unit. You know, that's why
Is that 101? Is that a downstairs?
downstairs unit in the whole.
So every one of these has been downstairs, hasn't it? Just about. 101, 602.
602 is not a downstairs. Well, it's a downstairs unit, but it's on the end. There's like 601, 101. But it's right down the breezeway. Right down the breezeway. It's between two.
It's
Two
ground
is
up.
right. It's ground up. Yeah, just say ground
About
up.
612.
612. 612 is ground level, but it's in the middle of the building. And 612 is back there by that lake.
Mm-hmm.
And see, can't nobody see back there no way. You know. In the park, we got apartments right there to the side, but see, you got that gate. You got just so you got the lake, then you got the building, right? Okay, then you got a little fence coming down there, but it stopped right there. So if anybody do go in, let's just say probably come from the other apartment, they got easy access to come over there and do whatever they're gonna do in this building, and going back up the same way, cause can't nobody see.
Yeah.
It's hard to see, you know.
Well, in 808, some kind of para-ordnance P13 pistol Para-ordnance pistol.
Kind of military gun.
Military gun.
Some ivory figurines that are tall, like 6 inches. 6 inches tall. 7 inches tall. Okay, so there's several different ivory items that were taken that are different heights and lengths. A gold plate, a silver and gold plate of some type. A color monitor was taken and a computer. Didn't you have some ivory figurines in your apartment?
Nope.
You don't have any in there? It's more computer stuff. Do you know the resident of 808?
Nope. I mean, I know when I see him, yeah, because he's kind of big, tall fella, white guy. Last time, I know the last time I went in that unit, he was at home. Yeah. They had a leak. Coming upstairs, he had a leak in his master bathroom coming from upstairs. And, 18. Come from upstairs, 18.
Also, some checks were taken from 808, and they were cashed. And later.
I'm just thinking. See, what I'm looking at as for a person myself, all this stuff being taken and stolen. Believe it or not, everything in my apartment, I got it from that property. Most up there by that dumpster. Or one of the units. Like somebody might leave a dresser in that car. I just got a dresser.
Oh, furniture and appliances.
Furniture, the sofa, my sofa, got it from the apartment. My beds, mattress, I got from the apartment. Doctor just gave me a mattress the other day. A coffee table, come from apartment. My TV come from, my full model color TV come from 916. When them folks moved out of there, everybody thought the thing was tore up, right? But they had a remote to it. But the remote was on VCR. So you turn it on, you ain't got nothing. You can't get the wrong station. So I took it home and flipped the thing down the TV. I've been looking at TV ever since.
Pretty good deal on that one, huh?
Very good deal. I mean, it's a Zenith with a remote.
Coming on 808, did you do work orders there?
Yeah, I have done work orders on all of them.
When you say all of them, what do you mean? Oh, you mean all the ones we went through so far?
Yeah.
You don't mean every apartment in the whole complex, do you?
I'm telling you, I have worked. I mean, see, you calling this out, and I have basically, I've been in there from November, or from August to now. So you got to imagine, at one time or another, they don't call in on the work order. At one time or another, they have called in.
Well, I know, and there's 3 of y'all, so I mean.
No, there was another. Jeff was there working there with us then.
There was 4 of you then.
No, Jeff, we fired Jeff. Doc fired Jeff.
Right.
Cause
so did somebody replace Jeff?
Mark replaced about a month or so.
Okay, so I mean, basically there was 3 of you working the whole time you worked there.
The whole time we worked, yeah.
So whenever somebody has a work order, usually one of the 3 of you will get the work order and have to go fix it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
but the thing is,
you didn't actually do work orders in every single apartment there since you've been there, right? I mean, there's got to be some apartments.
There's some apartments I haven't been in.
Right.
Some apartments I haven't been in, but the ones you called.
Yeah.
I have been in them. you know.
Well, I'm just asking you that. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm asking.
because you,
Okay.
you can go back. We keep work orders at the shop. I mean, well, they keep them upstairs. You know, so you can just see, that's what I'm just sitting here going over. I don't know what's to be in these people's apartment, and I can't give you a recollection of what was there when I went in there, or what been missing, you know, since I've been there, you know. If I could, you know, then I have photograph memory. Yeah.
Calvin, is 611 upstairs or downstairs?
611 is downstairs.
Do you remember doing work orders at 611?
Yeah, I've done several work over the health department.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you know what her name is?
Nope.
She lived there by herself?
I think she got a kid or two.
Well, somewhere late November, within just a few day period in late November and early December, someone took some checks out of the apartment. Doesn't know how they got in there. No forced entry, but found out from the bank that checks had been passed relevant to some of her personal checks that shouldn't have been missing from her apartment and were. So, did you know anything about that?
You hear about it?
No, I wasn't I hear about that. Maria was telling us. She one of the people that she don't want nobody. I heard about it from the office, and she wanted to attend that question. If she put a work order in, we can't go in out until somebody's at home. So right now, if she get a work order in, you know, it'll probably be in the evening or somebody on call to do it. Yeah.
So this girl that's in 611, you know, she seem okay?
I've never seen her.
You never saw her?
No, I've never seen her.
So you don't have an opinion about, you know, her checks being missing and somebody else using and forging her checks?
No, I don't.
Because on some of the others you made comments that, you know, they're all false reports, right?
Well, so we speculate. We have our own speculation what might happen, or what has happened, stuff like that.
All right.
So you know, that's what I'm going by, and that's what I'm saying. Cause I'm about to check. The only way I can get any information on that is through my office.
How about 219? That's your building, right?
Yep.
On 219, apartment 219, is that upstairs, downstairs? Where is that?
219, right there facing the my shop. It's on this end. Yeah.
Is it like the same breezeway as your door? Different breezeway?
The lower number's on the left-hand side.
Uh-huh.
The higher number's on the right-hand side.
But so 219 is a downstairs also?
It's upstairs.
Okay, it's an upstairs. Okay. Somewhere in October, middle to later part of October, someone somehow got in this apartment and took some checks and passed them. Did you hear about that?
I heard nothing about it.
Did you do work orders in 219?
I have done the ceiling in 219.
Ceiling, and you remember when you did that?
And the roof. Nope.
So the roof and the ceiling, is that one work order or is that two or?
Well, not two.
$211. That's your building too. Is 211 and also the other breezeway
211 downstairs.
downstairs
Yeah, under me.
under you?
Yeah, well,
Oh, it's
211 is on the all 11 apartments. They're like 6,
Mm-hmm.
11,
Right.
1, 6, 11, 16.
Hmm.
All them ground level.
Ground level in the back.
In the back.
Did you do work orders in 211?
I have done work all in 211.
Do you remember how many?
No.
Do you remember when or how long ago you've been in there?
No, I think the last one I did about a month ago. If I'm not mistaken.
And you did more than one over there then?
Yeah.
Because in that one, someone got in without a key, with a key, or somehow got in without forcing any doors or windows and
Now, man,
took a bunch of checks. So, see, somebody's stealing checks, right?
and I still check big time. They should be damn rich by now. Or somebody off. Pretty good. But
I get a paycheck every 2 weeks and I'm not rich, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but thing is, this thing, I don't know how, I can't figure out how many you said, but all these female checks. Women checks getting missing.
Women's checks are missing?
Yeah, most of you said.
Well, I didn't even notice that. Let me see. Was that how it was? Because I didn't give you people's names or races or sexes or anything, right?
Yeah, but the people you call department I know it's females in there, or a man.
Well, the thing with checks is they end up somewhere because somebody passed them somewhere at a bank or a check cashing place or whatever,
Right.
and they're traceable, and you can go backwards. I mean, you can. A police investigation can reveal, in a lot of cases, the majority of the cases, information on the person that passed the check.
That's the check, right?
And sometimes that's the same person that took the check.
Took the check. I follow
Sometimes it's not, but what we're usually able to do is backtrack and find out which hands the checks have been in, and then we can solve the case as far as who took them.
Right.
Right.
I'm saying that. Yeah.
Okay. You want a coffee, man?
No, I'm good.
Drink of water?
Need a bathroom.
Well, let's go take a bathroom break.
Well, I follow everything where you come from, my man. Shit.
You okay?
Yeah.
Whose cup was this? Was this yours or Bob's?
Hey, come run something by you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I understand as far as you running all that down to me.
Yeah.
As far as, check getting mission to jury and whatnot.
Yeah.
We
want to find out, you know what I'm saying? Somehow we need to find out, and we just need to ask, because you're a maintenance guy there, and you're familiar with a lot of the residents there, and do work orders and different things, and we're looking for information because there's something happening over there.
There's something happening, and what shit shouldn't be happening.
Exactly.
But I want to say it here to you. I've been working now ever since. I guess say August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months, going on 8 months.
Right.
And them people over there, Maria
Mm-hmm.
is the best person to me in my field of work the lady is awesome, and she got a heart of gold.
Right.
You know, and one thing I know, she cares, you know, about her employees.
Right.
And
well, and that's good. It's always good to work for somebody like that.
It is. You know, you know, not only I ain't gonna say me. Something is happening over there.
Right.
I don't, you know, just say I don't been there, done that. One of the worst things.
These are the kind of things that you used to do when you were younger.
No,
right?
I ain't never did no checks.
But I mean, you used to go into people's houses and stuff, right?
Yeah,
or apartments
when
and
I
stuff.
was young.
Right.
When I was young.
And you actually went to jail several times for that.
I went to jail 4 times. I went to jail 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
One time I shouldn't even went.
You just only ever went to jail 4 times?
Yeah, for trying to stop. You know, one time I went because I tried to stop somebody from doing something. I got caught up in shit because of my past record.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
What
And
case
but
was that?
What
kind of case was that?
It was a burglary case. Okay, but like I said, I ain't.
Tell me about those burglaries that you used to do. I mean, what kind of places? What did you do? How did you get in? What was going on?
Really,
What
really don't want to discuss that.
Well, I mean, it's your
discuss.
past, right? It's your past.
It's my past, but I want to run this somebody. Both of y'all. I ain't into that no more. Just say we sitting there talking. Y'all want some but that was street stuff. And when I had street life, you know, it took my wife, you know, to as young as she was to put in my head more than life than that. And the friends that I was having.
Did you say her name was Sylvia?
Sylvia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of straightened you out, didn't she?
Yeah, the girl straightened me out because she made me care about my damn self. You know, I felt that my mom didn't give a damn about me. So who else gonna care? You know, so I just said, fuck the world.
How long were you and Sylvia married?
We stayed together 11 years, we stayed married 9 months.
Is that right?
We shouldn't have never got married.
And you got
We should have never got married.
You'd have probably still been with that woman.
Yeah, because when we got married, I married her. We was on the verge. I was on the verge of leaving her because she was. Okay, she had 2 kids, right? I never had any problem with her oldest kid's father, but Tamika's father, man, him, you know, the first day I met him, he slapped the crap out of her. He slapped her. She had the baby in her arm, and he hauled out and slapped her. And just that happened, me and my friend rode behind. She told her to come on, because I was finna let her go. I thought she was fooling around. And I didn't even see her go up the street. And she had these little Daisy Duke like pants on with a leg hocked up. And I said, man, this ain't right here. So I was going to blow, but I didn't.
how long you been without her now, Sylvia?
Sylvia, I'm 15 years.
You been without her 15 years now?
But you still see her.
Well,
You're still married to her.
Yeah, I'm still married to her, but I don't see her. I go to my, you know, like I saw her, they want to take my son some money. But that's it. You know, we talk.
When's the last time you had any kind of a relationship with her? Anytime recently? Not
like that.
Years? It's been years?
He doesn't need to. He's got a husband-in-law.
Let him take
Oh, is that right?
His best friend lives with his wife.
No. He's my best friend. No. See, Greg, I knew Greg through her.
Oh, okay.
Which Greg?
So a friend of yours
Grant.
lives with your wife.
Yeah, a friend of mine.
Greg what?
His name is Greg Gant.
Greg Gant.
Yeah.
That's who lives with
my wife.
With your wife.
Right.
Okay.
And
which one was it that's in Kelton Woods over there?
Greg Bell.
Greg Bell, okay.
Yeah, he's in Kelton Woods. Well, see, the thing is, with her, even on my brother, because my brother asked me, when I got out of jail last time, he said, look, the only thing I don't want you to do is just leave me again. You know, you don't have to get in trouble. If you need anything, just ask. You know, just come to me and ask. And but you know, it's been
That's your brother.
yeah, that's my brother, and he's younger than me. You know, and
It must be hard though.
who my brother.
You know, asking your brother for something.
Yeah, it is. It is hard, and see, by me not asking him, that means I'm getting it on my own. You know, cause I've been out here on this job. You know, sometimes I go days with no money in my pocket, and it's hard for me. I go up there and ask Maria for $10, $20. I ask Beverly, Doc. You know,
How much money are you making?
I make $10 an hour, $10.50 an hour. You know, and I make just enough to keep me comfortable, where I won't have to, you know.
How much you give your son?
I give my son about $50, $60, something like that.
How often do you do
Not often as
that?
I should.
Not as much as you like.
Yeah, not much I like to. Cause I got 5-1 check. Just say I got my rent is $548. Right. I'm gonna bring home $627. Now I pay my rent. Sometimes I take my rent money. I pay half my rent, majority of my rent, like $400, and I pay my light bill. You know, on my phone bill. My phone bill cut off now, cause my son locked up, and accepting all them calls, you know, kind of set me back a little bit.
So you're kind of struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling,
What
but
could
it's a
you do?
damn good struggle.
Yeah.
I got a roof over my head.
Right.
I got a job. I eat every day. You know, and I don't have to catch no bus to go to work. You know.
Yeah, that's convenient. You live right there.
Yeah, I live right there. So I ain't. What I'm
Is
trying to
that
say,
car of yours? What'd you say? A black.
I got a black 92 Hyundai, which is towed down there. It's over at my mom's house.
Yeah. Is that paid for?
Nope, I'm buying it from one of the guys on the property.
Oh, so you're making payments on that?
Yeah.
So you're making payments every month on that car? Where is that car now?
Over my mom's house.
Okay. How long you had that car?
She is so. Thanks, it's
That one with broken
I
windows?
broke one in the back and front and both sides.
We had it 6 months.
Back and front, both sides.
It's gonna be expensive to fix.
No, it ain't but see, well, I get my income tax check back. You know, I get them something. IRS gonna take $300. I owe them $3. Some have about 8, something left, and I got 2. Something coming back from my estate.
Did you get an estimate on the car to get it fixed? Yeah.
Yeah, my sister's boyfriend gonna fix it.
What's that going to cost you to do that?
$640,
$640.
$640.
What's
Yeah.
What are your payments on that car?
Ain't no payments.
Oh, I thought you were making payments on it.
No, I'm making see this thing, and see, I'm showing you how good people I work for and I stay around.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony is one of the guys that's out there.
Mhm.
He stay out there. He got a little car like dealership thing. Kept buying the car from him.
He drives a Jeep.
Yeah, you met Anthony. Yeah, and see, he don't, like I told him what happened to the car. And I also let him know constantly how my money situation is.
Right.
You know, so he don't, you know, I told him once I get the car fixed, I'm gonna bring it back on the property. And then after that, I start paying payments on it. Ain't but $1,500, you know. But
Do you know anybody in Oglethorpe, Georgia?
Oglethorpe.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What, Dalton, Georgia?
oh,
No. About Woodstock?
No.
You know anybody out
I
there?
ain't been in Woodstock. I am nothing ever been in Woodstock.
You haven't been out there?
Oh.
Do you have any tools?
Count 2.
Power tools or any kind of tools? You have a toolbox?
Yeah, shop.
Hand tool. Is it your toolbox that's in the shop, or is it?
Yeah, my toolbox.
So basically all the tools that you use for work
They're in the shop.
are in the shop.
Yeah.
Do you have power tools?
Power tool like what?
Saws and drills and
No.
things like that. You don't have any?
What drill I use is docks.
Do they supply you with tools, whatever tools you need? No. Furniture your own.
Yeah.
Do you have? I mean, when you're working, you carry like a tool belt.
Well, I just hooked that tool belt up called that my toolbox. You know, Doc bought me a toolbox for Christmas. I mean, one about Mark one. And I use that sometimes when I got a big job I got to do, like do sheetrock or put in a furnace or stuff like that.
You just bring the whole toolbox over there.
Yeah.
What about small jobs? Don't you have like a little, like just carry a few tools, maybe like a couple screwdrivers and pliers and a hammer or whatever you might need to handle a lot of the small jobs?
Yeah, I carry that on the side.
You carry it on your side?
I think I built an office one.
Did you get missing something anytime recently?
Mm-hmm.
Everything
Yeah.
there?
Well, shit, I've been lose tools all the time.
Do you?
Yeah. I was right in, I was up in 514. I had a screwdriver right in my hand, and I knew what I did. Flathead screwdriver. But I didn't want to change the garbage disposal. And I looked around, I couldn't even find anything, so I said, oh shit. I was finna leave and go get another one, but I remember I had broke my big screwdriver off and back to take it around. I used it. So I lose tools a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because like the kind of belt that you carried in doesn't hold it
No,
well?
I just started carrying that belt.
When did you start carrying it?
Probably about a week or so.
Just a week ago?
Yeah.
Why? Did you like figure out that you were missing some tools or maybe
No,
lost
it helped. It helped me out. It helped me out a lot. Yeah, keep my hand free.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if I got something else in my hand,
Mm-hmm.
or I need to carry some supplies or something to a unit,
Yeah.
I can have my tools on the side, and I can my hands are free to tote my supplies or whatever I need for it. Yeah. But,
So before you had that belt, how did you carry your stuff? You just stick it in your pocket?
No, I have a toolbox.
What if you had a job you just needed a couple screwdrivers and a pliers? I mean, you don't carry your whole toolbox on that, do you?
Well, then again, you never know what you got to put gonna come up. Cause if I look at my ticket,
You put your toolbox on the golf court. Go there.
well, I totally with me.
Carry it.
It ain't that heavy. I mean, it ain't more about 20, 25, 30 pounds.
Well, now that you have a tool belt, what do you carry in it?
The tool belt.
Yeah.
Pliers, chisel, mostly screwdrivers, wire cutters, stuff like that. Then
Where's your tool belt?
in the office.
Is it in the shop or the office? Or?
I left it in the office then. Yeah, I left it in the office.
So it's got like a couple things: a chisel, a couple screwdrivers.
Everything that I probably need to fix garbage disposal or a heater, you know, stuff like that.
And then the rest of your tools are in your toolbox?
Yeah.
What does your toolbox look like?
It's a gray box, gray plastic box down in the shop.
Does it have your name on it, or does everybody know which one's yours?
Yeah.
Do you have any other tools that are not in that box?
No, not that I can think of. Yeah, I got up in my shed, up in my room, my apartment. But that stuff I don't use. You know, but like a lot of times
Where you got tools up in your apartment?
in my room. I mean, in my shed.
In your what?
In
the utility room? Utility room?
Yeah. That's, you know, there ain't no tools in there. I mean, just probably a screwdriver, a couple of screwdrivers, or old, you know, sheetrock knives, stuff like that. Drop cords.
Your tools, like the screwdrivers and the pliers and whatever, the chisels, do you buy them in like sets, or do you just buy individual ones, or you know, where do you get your tools from and all that?
Most of the time I accumulate.
So it's not like you go out and buy a set of these screwdrivers.
No, I started off doing that, but you know, I've been had some tools so long, you know, I might lose one, or something like this here.
Right.
Or I might just pick one up, go to Home Depot, pair of pliers, stuff like this here. Like I bought a pair of pliers, me and Doc went to Home Depot and I bought a pair of pliers. First time I used the damn thing, snapped them. They broke.
Really? From
So
Home
that's
Depot?
$7. Yeah, that's $7 that's gone to waste. But a good thing, and see, good for it, because Maria gave me, she gave me this sample. And what's good, because I'm going to get me a pair of pliers too. She gave me this card. She gave me this card.
Home Depot gift card.
$10 gift card.
$10.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine being in the maintenance field, places like Home Depot are fun places to shop, right?
Man, I'll tell you, they got everything.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Like a kid at Christmas when I go in there.
You get out to the other ones, like Lowe's is getting more popular now too. I noticed.
Well, most Lowe's, okay, I used to go to Lowe's over here on Martin Luther King, but they ain't over there no more.
Right.
Yeah, because I hate to even go on that side of town, but a lot of my sister and my brother, you know, they still up there. And I go and I see them sometimes. I go and see a couple of friends. A lot of times I go and see a cousin. I got a cousin over that friend, but he an alcoholic. But I give him a couple of dollars and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah. But I don't ever see the biggest, that Lowe's over there on Martin Luther King, and the Lowe's, I think out this way, the big one.
Is it on Pleasant Hill Road?
Yeah, yeah. That's a big, because all the others I know is gone out of business. Or they relocated us. Yeah.
You been to that Home Depot up there off Pleasant Hill?
Yeah.
You get out there sometime?
I used to go down when I was, right before I got back in the maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that big storm on my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go there and get all our supplies and stuff. Yeah.
That storm hit your complex pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, but a good thing, I just had got that when they just finished the chimneys. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, felt like I was gonna say, I understand y'all, you know, to question me about that stuff there, you know, and the other stuff, but, you know, my thing now, you know, I'm 42 years old. I'm soon to be 43. My needs is in check. What I need, you know, as for me wanting stuff. If I don't need it, I don't need it. You know, somebody else needs to buy. That's why I brought Maria them up. I work with some good people. And for me to even go in somebody's house and steal the checks, steal the bank,
Calvin,
shit like this, you know.
Calvin, I want you to understand something too, you know. When we do an investigation like this, and we're talking to you and other people, we're collecting information. I mean, we're collecting information from everybody we can collect it from.
I understand.
And when we talk to one person versus another person, you know, we want to hear them all. We want to hear what they say. We want to hear what they know, what they can contribute. But we don't want to tell one person what another person told us and stuff like that, because we want to collect it and evaluate it all and everything like that. So basically, when we talk to someone, a lot of times we know a lot more about what we're talking about than what we want to lead on. Do you know what I'm saying? On these incidents that we were talking about over here, we know a lot more than probably what we let on, and we're not even going to be able to tell you all what we know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because I kind of mess up our investigation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we did tell you about, and what we basically, I think, come to an understanding with in talking to you, is that Ashley Lake apartments has a problem with somebody going into different apartments. Right. I've worked thousands of burglaries since I've been a detective. Okay, right here in Gwinnett County. All right. Like what you were contending with a lot of them. Well, this is made up. You know, this is an insurance job.
I'm not,
and this, that. Well, no, I mean, you know what? From time to time, that's true, and that happens. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a pattern at Ashley Lakes involving a lot of different incidents during a certain time period that are very consistent with type of entry and types of things that are taken, and then the things that are done with the things that are taken. Okay.
They're not extravagant things.
Right.
We're talking about a lot of extravagant.
Right.
It's somebody basically meeting their needs.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, they're not in there taking fur coats and shit like that.
Right.
Some of it's, this is somebody that is basically meeting the needs. And that's it.
I understand what you're saying.
From that pattern, Calvin, if you just look at some of the real obvious things, they're not kicking in doors.
Mm-hmm.
They're not busting windows. But they're getting in. Right on the original incident reports, even without investigation, on a lot of the cases it says someone with a key came in victim's residence. Okay. We're looking at key jobs here, okay? On some of these, we're looking at key jobs, all right?
Yeah, in the first place, if I was detective or police, whatever, the first place I would look, at maintenance.
Well, you know what? It is a place to look. It is a place to look.
You don't settle there, but you certainly look.
Exactly. All right. Sometimes there's something to that when you look there, and sometimes there isn't.
That's good.
Calvin.
You don't settle that.
Bob is good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Everybody knows
good.
Bob is good. All right.
That's good. Yeah.
You just opened me up for a lot of good.
Yeah. Well,
Calvin, listen to me, okay? There's a pattern here of somebody going into these apartments at Ashley Lakes and they're taking stuff like checks and stuff like that. And they're being sneaky about it, all right? They're going in with a key, they're finding a box of checks or a checkbook or something, and they're sometimes just taking a few checks out. Sometimes they're taking whole books, but not necessarily an obvious book. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, somebody's going in, and somebody is probably struggling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They're having a hard time. They need some extra cash. They don't need other problems in their lives. They don't want to get caught, but they just need this stuff.
Whatever's been taken hasn't damaged that person.
Right.
That much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you took something away from, just say for instance food. It's not like you took food from them. Is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Something that they needed.
Right.
This is not extra. This is extra.
I understand what you're saying.
And I'll be honest with you. These are not all these cases we went through. These are not crimes of the century here, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, somebody went in and they took some checks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Not a major big problem, but it's a problem. Somebody's got a problem.
Got a problem.
And somebody with a key has a problem, or maybe they're just struggling or barely making it, and they figure that they have an opportunity to do something that they can probably get away with. Okay.
Penny stuff.
Right.
I understand what you're saying. But you keep mentioning struggling.
Yeah, Calvin.
All right.
Calvin.
I'm struggling.
Right.
I'm struggling.
Right.
But I'm not struggling enough. Or I'm in a situation where that I need to do something like that.
Calvin, you want to be able to say that the past is the past and you don't break into houses anymore or you don't steal anymore. You want to be able to say that because you've been able to probably say that for a while, right?
Probably want a few minutes to be able to get a grip on life.
Exactly.
What you've been through.
Exactly. And it sounds like Sylvia got a lot of credit for straightening you out.
This is not, we're not talking Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid here. This is somebody that is They're just trying to get by. And I hope you feel like I've been honest with you since I met you. You got a lot of responsibility with that boy. You want to give him a lot more than what you've given him.
Yeah, but yeah, I do. But also I'm saying,
This is almost like
my wife,
Robin Hood, taking from the rich, giving to the poor.
To the poor. But as far I love my son. I love him to death.
Yeah.
But ain't no way. I mean, he got a mom. He has a mom.
Well, it's not just your son.
Well,
I mean, there's other things and I'm gonna put it in your words. You're struggling.
Yeah, I'm struggling,
Yeah.
and I'm struggling to the point where it's, I'm good paying my bill, and how I'm paying them, it's I be behind a lot, and to get the grip on paying my bills to a point where I can pay my whole rent this pay period. Do my clothes, wash my clothes, buy me some food, stuff like this, and I'm good, right? As far as my son, I look at him and I tell him, that like I'm sitting up and telling y'all, hey, if I ain't got it, I can't get it. And if you don't call me and ask me for it or find out, I let my son know when I get paid and how much money I'm gonna have left when I get through. If he need anything, he'll call me and let me know.
But you're not any different from me. I've got kids. He's got kids. If one of them wanted something, even if they asked or didn't, I know they want things.
Yeah, they want
things. I try to provide everything. Not only their needs is important. Okay,
yeah.
With kids especially, I like to go a little bit beyond that. I mean, as a father, you want to see yours taken care of. You don't want him in a situation where you grow up.
No, I never think about him doing that. But believe it or not, Calvin don't ask me for nothing. My son do not ask me for nothing.
But that's got nothing to do with it. You want to provide him.
I won't provide for him, but hey, if I can't, I can't.
You drink.
Every now and then, I drink beer. I don't drink no hard liquor.
Drugs.
No drugs.
Did you ever have a drug problem at all?
Mm-mm. Never have.
How about when you were younger and doing those burglaries and everything?
Nope.
It wasn't about drugs?
When about drugs, I'm doing there just something to do.
Part of survival, baby.
Yeah. Well, to me,
living on the street,
to me, I've always been somewhat blessed. I mean, I've done bad things, and I know the Lord don't chastise, he'll put me on a strut where I just can't get no job or nothing like that. I go to my folks and ask them for money. Even my brother, if I really need a car.
That would be an absolute necessity for you to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of times he have done it. My brother-in-law bought me 3 cars. Now, digga, I'm the oldest. My brother in me area had bought me 3 cars. Which I kicked him back some.
Yep.
I kicked him back to show appreciation. But
I guess then basically, if we're to talk to your family, they also would tell us that you've been struggling and they've been trying to help you.
yeah, they've been trying to help me and they also tell you this, I ain't been in no trouble since '93. And that's a damn good package.
What happened in '93? What
I
happened?
got out of prison. I got out of jail in '93. 92.
After serving how much time that time?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
And for
see,
what?
and then,
For what?
burglary.
For burglary?
And see, that's what I said. I should have never went to prison.
How many burglaries was that? I mean, was that one burglary or you did that 2
I'm
years?
gonna put it like this here. It wasn't even to me. It wasn't no burger. I pleaded guilty to it.
What was it?
A burger.
But I mean, what did you do?
What I do?
What they accuse
What did they accuse you
They
of doing?
accused me of going in this woman's house. And my thing is, I was having lunch.
Was it an apartment or a house or
House.
it was a house?
Yeah.
And what was supposed to have happened?
Well, so what had happened, they said I put went in this woman's house and stole, and burglarized her stuff. Now, I'm sitting there.
Was she supposedly home when it happened or not?
No, she wasn't home. Wasn't nobody home.
What kind of things?
I seen the guy. Let me finish.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You got the floor, bud.
I was gonna go do a job. I left one of my job to go make a couple $100, right? To do some sheetrock work for this guy, and not far from where I was. I can't even think of. It was over here on Ponce Leon somewhere. But anyway, I seen these folks standing on the porch, and I pulled up, and one of them came out, peeping at me, right? I ain't thinking, by me been in trouble before, my dumb ass should have just kept on going, let them folks do what the hell they doing, right? But I bagged back, and I said, asked what's people at home, and dude took out running. He took out running because some apartments behind that house. And so I parked my car, and I went to the porch, and right there it was a bag. It was not no bag, but a damn pillowcase, some stuff in it. And I picked the pillowcase up, the lady came up. I said, ma'am, I just ran somebody out from, I guess they were coming in your house, and I guess this your stuff. And she was looking at me all strange and stuff. And she said, you mind waiting until the police come? I said, yeah. I went out there and sat in my car. Now my thing, I ain't saying about no previous thing, but my thing is this here. I had a record. I'm black, and I was the only black person there. So.
And you're basically caught holding the bag.
Caught holding the damn bag. And then I'm telling you, that hurt me so bad for me not to, be in a situation where I'm doing something. And for me to do 2 years, okay. When I got to the cap that I did time in, I sit down and talked to 2 counselors, both of them, and talked to me, and even the coach that I was working for in the gym down there, he talked to me, and to look at me, you might not think that you say, you don't even look like the person to do that kind of stuff, because I've always been good with my hands. Even in prison, I never was locked up. I stayed out 16 hours a day. Because I was doing the same thing and now that I'm doing out here. And I had so many people to talk to me. Even like that's the first time, that time was the first time I ever really cussed myself for not giving myself the opportunity to really strive and go and further my education, I took it on myself to get my GED. I got 2 years of mass business knowledge up under my belt that I went and got on my own. I got 5 trades up under my belt. I left Atlanta with Sylvia and went to Macon Tech. Stayed down there for almost 2 years in Macon, Georgia. And to get I got welding, I got carpentry, brick mason, all up on my belt. And I'm saying with all this the friend, the people just Sparta, Georgia, Sparta CI. Okay, that's where I got this somewhat awakening. As far as me being the person that I always wanted to be. I didn't have to prove nothing to nobody. Just prove to myself that I'm good. That I'm proving to myself I'm worth something. But coming up, when I was younger, people used to look at me and my family like they ain't gonna be about shit. You see my
when you were younger, Calvin, and back in those days where you were in trouble all the time, that your family was struggling? Was your family struggling?
Yeah, my mom was struggling, but my grandmama, you know, we lived out the street from my grandmama. She was always, my grandmama had her own business. She owned 2-3 houses, you know. And, but.
At what age did you go to live on your own?
10.
Okay.
No, let me rephrase that. 12. My mom would call herself whooping my sister. And she was drinking, and I stopped. So she put both of us out. It was cold as hell.
And you didn't live with her no more after that?
Thing is, when I left and came back, she had moved. Mother had moved. I stayed with the people across the hall 2 years until I turned 14. My older sister came and got me and made me come stay with her. And stayed with her, helped her out, but I didn't have no guidance.
But back in those days, yeah, you didn't have guidance, and as you're growing up, I guess you learned on the street, if you need something, take it.
I didn't learn that.
Well, you told me before that.
Yeah, what? See, thing what I'm saying, I had older people, my friends and my mom. They treated me damn near better than they treated their own sons, because I never cussed in front of them.
Right.
And when I go to their house, you know, I clean up, you know, I wash dishes.
Calvin, when we were just talking about that incident where you just spent 2 years in prison back in the early 90s, you didn't admit to us that you did that, right? I mean, you didn't admit to us that you did that. You basically, what you're telling us is that you didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
saying I didn't do it.
All right, but on the way here in the car, you were talking about your past and a rough past and how all this has been put behind you, you know, because you don't do that kind of stuff anymore. You were admitting that you did stuff like that, right?
No. Let me see.
Calvin,
No,
Calvin,
no,
I'm
this
talking
was
back
saying.
then. I'm talking back then when you were like 20s, teens and 20s. Teens and 20s.
Yeah. Okay, I have. No, you got my record. I have taken from people.
I know, but I'm trying to hear it from you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know what the record says, and that's basically everything you've been accused of and everything else. I'm listening to you, Doug.
I have taken, but I haven't took anything in so long.
Right.
But I might not know how.
But Calvin, you, back when you were teens and 20s,
yeah,
you would go into people's houses and take things sometimes, right? I mean, that's been...
It's called survival.
It calls survival.
Okay.
Right now, you know, yeah,
Yes, that's true.
I've done that. It's true.
Okay. And you got convicted on several times doing that kind of stuff, right? You got arrested and convicted and had to do time in jail, right?
Right.
Okay. So basically you're a convicted felon, right? Right. When you get a job, like for whatever company doing maintenance, and you have to do an application, right? Isn't there some kind of something on this application?
There's an application out there saying what you have you been locked up before?
Or have you ever been arrested for a felony or anything like that? Would you answer those applications truthfully?
Yeah.
And you would say yes, that you were arrested or convicted of felonies?
Yeah.
And you didn't lie on them?
No.
And they'd still hire you?
Yeah.
And then they'd even hire you?
Because I go to them straight up and say, look, I do have a record. You know, I'm not proud of it, but there it is. I said, I'm good at what I do. And as my word as a man, you know, as a human being, I would not do anything to, you know, if you hire me, I wouldn't do anything.
So you're honest on your applications, and then you talk them into letting you work for them. I mean, you don't lie in your application.
I don't lie.
You don't lie in the application. And then because you've been convicted of felonies before, you would tell them, look, I mean, I've straightened my life out. I'm not like that anymore. And then they would still hire you.
Yeah.
Is that what happened at Ashley Lakes? Were you truthful on their application, and did you check yes that you are a convicted felon?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I believe I did.
You think you were honest?
Yeah.
Do you remember having a conversation with management about that?
I had a conversation with Doc.
Did Doc hire you?
Doc hired me.
And you explained to him that,
I
look,
explained to him that I've been in trouble before.
You tell him what kind of trouble.
He didn't ask. He did not ask, and he said, if Beverly recommend you, I know you're a good man. And I said, well, if I've been a good man, I need to show you my self-worth. I need to show you what I know. And when I first got there, they were way behind in work orders. I mean,
you needed help bad. They needed help.
Yeah, and what I did, I went in there, I bust my ass.
Proved yourself.
For a month, I got all the work orders down. There was 100-some work orders overhead. And wasn't nobody there but Doc and Jeff. And Jeff didn't know nothing. He had to call in off and ask me real how to do something. And once we got caught up, Doc felt that he can let Jeff go. And then we went high I don't know if they put in the paper, but somebody called up from Florida, said they had a guy coming in. They wanted to trial. Now, man, that was Mark. And when Mark came in, he was a heaven sent.
How long you been knowing Beverly?
I've been knowing Beverly ever since 94.
94. So that's after you got out of prison last time?
Yeah.
So does she know about your past? Does she know about your criminal past?
How did you meet her?
I went and applied for a job. And the same way King something. They don't change the name, South Cobb. She was working there with MPI then. And she the supervisor there. I can't think who the supervisor there. There was a white guy. And I told him that I had been locked up. I'd been in trouble before. I said, just give me a chance to prove myself.
That's at a different place? Oh,
Yeah.
Where Beverly used to work?
Yeah, she used to work there. Then I got a transfer.
So did Beverly know then about your past or not? Or did you just tell
I
Doc?
believe she did. I mean, cause it ain't nothing to talk about. I mean,
It's not something you want to bring up in conversation.
no, I mean, we don't have this kind of work. You don't just say, "Hey, look, I've been locked up. I've been in prison. I've been locked up for burglary and stuff like that. Give me a job."
Hmm.
It don't work like that.
So Beverly, to your knowledge, Beverly doesn't even know.
To my
That you
knowledge,
have
she
a-
knows somewhat I have a criminal record. But see, all Beverly know this him. Beverly know that as up to now, I'm honest. She know that I'm a hard worker. She know I'm a troubleshooter with the type of work that I do. If it's need to be done in a hurry, I'm the man to call.
Right.
Because I know my job.
Right.
If-
Well, Calvin, here's the deal. I want to stop, this check stealing thing over there at Ashley Lakes.
Yeah.
It needs to go ahead and stop because this is getting a little bit too much. You know what I mean?
But see, you telling me like you.
Well, here's the deal.
like,
I'm gonna be
I
straight.
got
I'm
control,
gonna
too.
be straight up with you, man. I'm gonna be straight up
Oh,
with you. You've become a suspect in these for different reasons, and like I said, these aren't the crimes of the century, but it's getting annoying. We got to stop
I
you.
understand. I knew that all along. But see,
Yeah.
I never see what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That let me try to put it to you like this here.
Yeah.
I'm not the one.
Do you know who is the one?
No, I don't. But a lot of time, at one time I said it was Jeff. You know.
Okay. So you suspected it was one of the maintenance
Well,
guys.
I suspected it was one of the old man that got, because keys shit ain't changed. We ain't got no law. We ain't got no thing that check people in or out by our keys.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In and everybody can come in there and get a key.
Right.
Somebody from another company.
Okay.
Can,
Well, so you're
send somebody,
agreeing that this is probably a maintenance guy that's doing this, right?
or a vendor.
Somebody that.
Not with that frequency.
Yeah, no,
No,
the
not
frequency.
the frequency, but you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. And officer, I'm gonna tell you something.
Doc's about as
I know.
honest as the day is long, ain't he?
I'm telling you,
Isn't he?
yes, he is.
And I'll bet he doesn't have much of a criminal history, does he? He probably doesn't. He
Doc
probably
tell
didn't go
you
to
more
prison
wall
for
stories.
burglary.
Doc tell you more wall stories. See, Doc spent most of his life in the military. Yeah.
Yeah.
He spent most of his life in the military.
Mark, he's a pretty straight shooter too, ain't he?
I don't know that much about Mark. Mark, he kind of quiet,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
Mark-
How's he been there?
Mark been there about 2-3 months, a couple of months, something like that.
So some of this stuff happened before he ever got there.
Yeah. Yeah, because this stuff here dates back to October is when the problem really kind of started. Probably shortly after you got done proving yourself as a good maintenance guy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's within
See,
a couple
Jeff
months.
was there too now.
What's that?
Jeff was there.
Right. How long's Jeff been gone now?
Jeff ain't gone, shit. I don't know.
I think he left like back in September or something like that,
I
didn't
don't know. But I'm saying, you know, I know what you know.
Well, listen, I'm trying to shoot straight with you here, okay? Because I mean, I can sit here and beat around the bush, and you're gonna be sitting there thinking, well, he thinks I did it, right? I'm just gonna say, look, you're a suspect.
Well,
You are a suspect.
Yeah, I know. By my record, I should be the number one suspect.
Yeah. And you remember what I told you about how with all this check stuff, we can find out a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can find things out.
That's
It's,
what I told you at the beginning, that you never do anything without somebody.
Somebody
sees something.
Right.
You can't do nothing.
Right.
I know that's a proven fact.
Right. And do you remember
do nothing in this life, but somebody gonna see you.
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And you also remember me telling you a little while ago that we know more than what we're leading on on.
Yeah.
Right. Also, some of these places, remember how you were saying to this one guy, he didn't even file a report and he didn't want the place to be fingerprinted and all that kind of stuff?
That's what I got from the office.
Well, you know
They
what?
told me.
Yeah, but listen here. He did file a report. And you know what else is true in a lot of these places?
Mhm.
They did get fingerprints.
Mhm.
Okay. Now let me explain to you the fingerprint thing a little bit here. Sometimes on some of these we call them crime scenes. I mean, a check stolen. Okay. On some of these stolen check things, they want us to come out and do fingerprints and everything like that, and there's stuff that should be done, you know. And then we'll collect some. And just because we get a fingerprint or a palm print or whatever,
Right.
yeah, just because we have it doesn't mean that we can automatically say, okay, that print belongs to John Smith. You know, sometimes what we have to do is we have to keep those things in a file, and then whenever somebody turns up as a suspect, then what we do is we'll take their fingerprints from previous arrests,
Mhm.
and we'll compare them to the fingerprints that we got.
Yeah.
And you know what? When they're a match, then there's no question left. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there on is just how bad it's going to get.
Right. And let me explain something else. You didn't just become a suspect today. You've been a suspect for a couple of days. Okay.
Mhm.
And we've been able to
I need a bath.
submit.
Huh?
You need what?
Bam.
A bath? Yeah. We've been able to submit for analysis some fingerprint evidence and things like that. I want you to think about that for a minute. Bob, I think may want to talk to you some more. I've got to step out for a minute.
Okay.
We'll get some more coffee here in a minute.
Yeah.
You're a Christian.
Yes, I am.
I have always been under the impression that if they'll answer you straight. Yeah. But in order for somebody to answer me straight, I have to have compassion first.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to know right now, I don't care what you do. I forgive you. My daddy told me one time, he says, it's a great feeling to know that everybody in the world loves you. I said, Daddy, how do you think everybody loves you? And he says, because I love everybody. She said, I love everybody. There's certain situations that people get in, okay? And I don't like people. I don't have to. You know, I've worked a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I've got some bags back here, you know. And I've made mistakes. You know. But when I come in the interview, or when I go on a scene, first thing I do before I turn the car, I go down and say what I'm supposed to say. Let me do what I'm supposed to do. And let me keep compassion in my heart. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you some. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, you made me think about a friend of mine. She going through hell with an old man, right? And when I told her, I said, look, that's your man. I know you love him. You know, he never done me no wrong. But you my friend, and I love him. But what you attempted to do is totally messed up, because you ain't chewing thing with the girl here behind Reid, right? But she wanna take her rent money, the little that she got, and trying to sell some beer and look and stuff like this. And I said, you that ain't right. I said, this man don't mean, if anything, if he ain't doing his job, if he ain't being a man, showing you love and concern, you don't need it. I said, here I am. I said,
Did you ever think one minute that she needed to hear that, and the Lord sent you over to say that? I believe that we're used to the Lord all the time in all your messages.
you don't know.
I don't think it's no accident that me and you met. Okay? I mean, I've got a baby case that came in last night. He got 16 months old baby. It's had its head stoned. Skull split in 5 pieces.
Dad,
Didn't have a chance. But what I'm saying is, I've sat down with this young boy here and I've studied these things. And I've gone on and I've done reading everything and I'm being honest with you. Okay? If I ain't nothing else, I'm honest. If you don't like that, you tell me your dad out of here and I'll go ahead. But I've studied these things and there is a pattern to them. And Calvin, I really believe that you're responsible for a few of them, not all of them, because I can see some discrepancies. And I think you're responsible for some of them. And I'm telling you that I think you're man enough to look me in the eye and work this shit out if there's a problem. We need to deal with the problem. Okay? Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Because there ain't none that ain't got a problem. If you're talking about women problems, I've had them too. I was married 21 years the first time. Had 2 kids back. She ran off with another man. My 19-year-old son passed away. I called her from the hospital and told her. And she says, it's your son, bury him. Indeed, she never so much as come to a funeral or a funeral. I know what pain is. I know what need is. There's nobody hurt in these cases. Nobody. And ain't nobody lost a meal or a night's sleep because of these things. Okay? And I told you that I feel very, very confident that you're responsible for some of them, not all of them, but some of them. And I'm just telling you that as a friend. And you don't have to listen to me, you don't have to agree with me, you don't have to do anything. I'm not going to ask you to do something. I'm just telling you my heart's feeling in this thing. You're responsible for some things. There's no doubt. Absolutely none. Remember what I told you, that no matter what anybody does, somebody sees something. I have never ever seen it fail. I have never seen it fail. I would like to work with you on this thing. You know, the greatest thing that when people get in situations like this, and not say no, you need to say this happened because this happened. I needed this. You know, I had to do this. A lot of them, bless their hearts, they get in here and they got drug problems and all that stuff, or they're drinking or whatever, or they've got something else that they have a need, and they do this. It's almost human instinct to resort to something, especially with the background you got that have to live on the street like that. Let me tell you something, brother. I left on the last 12 years. So I know a little bit. I know you've been through what you've been through, but I know a little bit about that. Okay? Okay, I want to just shoot straight with you. And I'll let you straight
I understand what you're saying. I also don't understand where you come up from.
Some of these you're responsible for.
Yeah.
Can I say that? What a clear call.
I
And I'll raise
understand
my
that.
hand before the good Lord. I honestly believe that.
And I don't take no offense about why you're saying that. And I appreciate you coming to me like you are.
Nothing, man. I'm older than you. I'm older than you. I don't need a video. I'm just good looking. I can't help it.
Yeah. But Mr. King, Officer King, I know my history, my past.
Well, I don't base it on anything. Anything can change.
Anyone can change, and me, I have changed.
Well,
I got it.
I don't doubt that.
I have got baptized twice. And my last baptism was in 95. I've had a hard life. I know I have. I also have a blessed life. Because all the things I've been through in my life, I've had my sanity. I have my reasoning about life. I accepted the Lord in my life.
Somebody was praying for you, boy.
Yeah, praying hard. And
Some
Beverly is one of them. Beverly is so good that
well, I'll tell you this. I kind of figured that when I tried to get into how I'm into and stuff like that. I knew that there was a relationship there. And I'm not saying it's a bad relationship.
no, it's a close because
And I
you
thought to
together.
myself that if you was to point out the ones that you're responsible for, she's going to be mighty hurt. But I would do this. Okay. She'd be more hurt. Think about it. She would be more hurt. Give your life back. You can't pray for something like that.
No, you can't.
And
But
it's wrong.
it's in my heart.
What sets free.
That's it. That's right.
We're talking about little bitty petty things. Just to keep those people, maybe not even want to prosecute.
I was king as honest as I can be to you. Man to man, Christian to Christian. As God is my witness. And I don't fool around with the Lord.
That's why I brought this up.
I did not, and I have not. I need not. I don't need nothing back. I say everything in my apartment have never been paid for. I haven't paid enough for. And
But you've been in a few things here.
I ain't been doing no wrong.
I told you, and I'm not going to take it back, okay?
I don't want you to take it back. Please don't take it back.
Some of these right here, not all of them, but some of these you're responsible for. Now, and I can just about pick out. Would you let me show you my opinion of them?
Yeah, I mean, I want.
Let me go get it first. You want some coffee?
No, I'm good.
Okay, you need a restroom or anything?
No, I'm good.
I'm going to show you the ones, and you.
Yeah, we
Give me this.
one. See, Bob, I mean,
That one, What? I'm listening to you.
what I want to say is, I really do appreciate you coming to me the way you have, and
Thank you.
I've been noticing all about how, all patient you've been sitting on there and letting know, what's his name?
Bye.
Yeah, I know you watch me, you watch him, and it's, I don't know, I guess, I know from my past record, and that's what I'm looking at, that
This is 808.
808,
And those are the items that were taken.
and baby, from this man, from what I know of him, he's a Christian man.
Says, woe unto them.
I mean, this thing, all this stuff that been taken.
Don't look at this.
I mean, I ain't looking at that.
Look at this side, because this side right here,
That's
most
something-
people fudge on this stuff. You know why? Insurance. They
Insurance.
fudge on this stuff. So don't even.
But see, if you go to my apartment and look at my apartment, see what I got, or see how I live, I have nothing extra. I have nothing extra coming in. I live day by day on my job. If I need anything, I go to my folks. Because I know they're there for me now.
I don't think.
I haven't took anything.
I was
On
just
my
showing
part.
you,
I know.
that I keyed on some of those right there. This one right here, and I don't know that all of this stuff was taken, but I think this would somewhat be one that I would choose. Okay. The checks, I don't care about checks. That's immaterial.
And 6 and 2. You see the thing, okay, check this out. Thing is, with this stuff taken, with this stuff taken, I have no car. Everywhere I go in that property, I walk. I walk. And somebody would see me. Somebody would see me walk.
Let me tell you this. I've done this a long time. I have seen a lot of times where people would take things from apartments, stash it somewhere and go back later and get it, And I want to be honest with you, people have seen something. We just didn't know who at the time. And you know that we do photographic lineups and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's not mentioning, I'm going to shoot straight with you. Photographic lineups being done. Okay. And, I call you Calvin. Yeah. I don't want to see the hole get deeper, None of this stuff right here, if they lost it, it don't change their life one bit.
Yeah, I understand that.
Our boss man says, there's a problem down there, take care of it. Okay.
Bob, I mean, ain't nothing else I can say to convince you that
I don't want you to tell me anything.
I'm
I'm just telling you my feelings in it.
I understand.
Because I understand what happens if you admit to it. I understand what's happening. You understand what happened.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about living with yourself. Okay? some of these things right here, if the
See,
insurance is
that's why-
paid, if the insurance is paid
That's
over
why
and
I
stuff
say-
like that, they might probably be across the street.
But see, that's why I say, whether they got a photographic line up. I mean, I'm out there every day. These people trust me. And see, that goes a long way with me. And it's been a long time since I have anybody put that kind of trust in me. Maria, you know.
And you don't want to disappoint them. That's
No,
why
I'm not going to disappoint them.
That's why you don't want to
I'm
say
not
anything.
going to disappoint them. You know, because just like I told Tom when I first went there, I said, look, I've been in trouble before. And he said, well, okay. He said, that's just between you and me. Blase. I told him everything I've done. You know, this man trusts me. And I could not betray that trust. I could not betray that trust.
Well, let me tell you something.
And
I told you
it's
before, I'd be
hard.
honest and I'd be straight
Yeah.
with you. I talked to Doc myself, and Doc said he had no idea. I didn't tell him about the past. That's not my job.
Yeah.
He said I had no idea. Okay. There was also 2 other incidents. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There was one about 2 weeks ago where you went in with a young girl that was still there. What she told me, I'll tell you the whole story. And I can't remember the apartment number. But anyway, it was about 2 weeks ago. She said she was in the bed. She was wearing a t-shirt. She hears a knock on the door. She gets up. She goes to the door. No one's there. She comes back in. She sits down on the couch. And you went in. And you went in unannounced. She was sitting on the sofa. Y'all talked about fishing and all kind of stuff that you was interested in and stuff like that.
No.
Nothing was taken. Okay. Nothing like that. But I'm just trying to tell you, you know, we talked earlier about, you know, incidents where you've gone in. There was another one, and I'm not good with numbers, but I think 319 happened either yesterday or the day before or something like that.
319.
And you had the keys in your pocket or something.
Oh,
Help me out here. Help me out.
319 is.
But you said you had a work order, but you didn't have a work order. You thought it was 309 or something like that. And as it turned out, it wasn't one for 309 or whatever it was. You had told Maria that you was in.
Oh, Maria had called me, and she would ask Mark about, did anybody go on there? And 619, I mean 916.
916.
Yeah, and I told her, you know, I went down there and told her, I said it was me, cause I ain't had nothing to hide.
And you told her you had a work order for
No,
906.
I didn't have no work order. I told her that they had asked me for some bulbs or whatnot, and I just took them to the wrong apartment.
What Maria told me is that you went in 916. There was a lady there.
She was in there as a babysitter.
Yeah, she was in there, and you told Maria that you got confused. You had a work order for 906. Well,
I didn't have a. I did not have a work. Okay.
Because I don't know.
All right, I didn't have a work order. Later somebody asked me on the street to give a bulb. And see, a lot of them do that to me.
I understand.
They ask me to come by there and do something for, and I do it. Just like the lady up in 1114. You know, her garbage disposal was clogged up. Okay.
But on this particular one, though, you told Maria that you had an order for 906, and you got confused on the apartment number.
Yeah, the order, but I didn't have no work order.
Yeah.
I mean, the lady.
We know that.
Yeah, the lady asked me for that, and
And the other one that you had a work order, the first one I told you about, I had a couple weeks ago. You fixed the sink or the commode or something like that. I wish I remember the apartment number.
yeah.
But you sat down and I mean, there was nothing going on and nothing like that.
I don't see it. It couldn't have been me.
Yeah, it was you.
No,
Without a doubt.
It,
Without a doubt.
well, it might not have been a doubt too, but I don't recall that. I don't recall nobody that I talked to lately about fishing.
Well, what do we need to do? What direction do we need to go in, or something like that? We got to clear these things up.
Also, I
told you.
I
I told you
understand.
my honest feelings.
I understand that. I understand that. And I'm gonna take it to you. I'm gonna like this here. I didn't do none of these here. I have no reason to.
Do you have any problem with us going in your apartment?
Hmm?
Do you have any problem with us going in your apartment?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Without me being there.
Okay.
Can I be there with you?
Yeah.
If I can let you in my apartment. Well, I'd rather for you to be there. I'd rather to be there.
Didn't want to steal from you?
No. No, okay, we'll put it like this here. Right now in my apartment, and I don't know why I didn't throw it away. The woman up here in 1114, okay, she gave me some pillowcases that she had got from the street. Somebody had got put out. Right? And she got a bunch of stuff, VCR, pots and pans and whatnot. Right? It was, I think I threw pieces in the garbage can. She gave me the sack with the what you call it. She gave me the pillows. Right? She gave me the pillows. Well, within that plastic bag, there was a man's check book. There's a new account, but not named William something. Now this ain't even from the apartments up the street. Up the street.
Which Ashley?
I don't know what apartment. She
The
said.
one further down. Or?
Yeah.
There's
no,
Ashley Lakes, and then there's Ashley
wrong. His him had been up.
Up further.
Yeah. And see, by throwing that away, I think that thing's still sitting on my coffee table.
Anything else that's in there that you?
No, that's
there's a
it.
problem with?
No, that's it. To go in my apartment, to go up by law, I'd rather be there for you. If I take you in now.
If we did it on a consent search, you'd need to be there.
Yeah. And
if we did it on a search warrant, we don't need you there.
I know. And
I'm not
I
against
take you
warrant.
in there on a consent search. I wouldn't mind. On consent search, I would not mind. But you will see all this stuff in all that.
Why would it have to be a consent search, Kevin? Why would it have to be a consent search? Basically, what we would do is you'd walk in there and get that and bring it to me. Basically, you'd walk in there and get that check and bring it to me.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't be able to look anywhere else. Then I wouldn't be able to look anywhere else.
I'll let you look out the whole thing. I'll let you look over my whole apartment. But understand that there, what I just told you about, I got it from 1114
In Ashley Lakes.
in Ashley Lake. I got it
Who
from her.
lives there? What's her name?
I can't think of her name, but I talk with her all the time. I leave for her. She stopped me and asked me to do something for her. I said I'd do it as soon as I go in here and get a work order. I'd be up there. And that's what I did. And see, still going through to get a warrant.
Search warrant?
Yeah, I take in my apartment and let you look. And I have nothing to hide. I don't have a thing to hide. I do not have one thing to hide. Cause like I said, all this, there's money.
It'd be
missing.
foolish to keep that in your house.
The money's been missing out these folks' account, right? Okay, I've been in my apartment since October. I've been in my apartment since October. And the only thing in my apartment is new. It's my fire poles.
Is your fire hose?
My fire poles,
Fire program.
yeah, that's the only thing in my apartment is new. I don't buy nothing, Because I knew eventually somebody be gonna leave it in the apartment. You know, my bed, my my sofa, my TV, my dishes, my silverware. All that stuff came out of Ashley Lake Apartments. I have no need to steal. If I need,
You're trying to convince me.
no, I'm not trying to. No, what I'm trying to do is let you know, money is not a need for me the way it used to be. I can give a damn what I have or not. I sit up there in my apartment for days. No longer than 2 go when I eat. Beverly and them, they know this. Before I stooped to this here, I quit my job. I would literally quit because I don't need nothing in this world that'll send me back to prison. Ain't nothing in this world mean that much to me for me to give up me being able to go see my mom when I want to go see my kid when I want to, or to just be at my house by myself.
What we need to do is I need to get with Tim. You want some more coffee? I'll put us on some fresh coffee.
Yeah.
Let's go make a pot of coffee. Did you get my cup?
I ain't gonna get it up.
Drink coffee and share and everything else. But we need to get down to brass tacks about this thing. I
Okay.
had just as soon get the other fella out of there if I can. I mean, if you prefer talking with him, I'll certainly get him back in.
Well, also,
But these things, you know, they're not going to go away. And
I know they're not gonna go away.
like that other fellow told you, you know, you just don't lay out everything all at one time either. You just don't do that. And there's several reasons that you don't do that. For one reason, the person that's responsible knows all about it to begin with. We can't trick them, you know, and a lot of these young guys haven't learned that. But you just don't lay down everything. And what I'm trying to tell you, and I hope you pick up on it, is somebody always sees something. And we don't have to have the person, but all we need is a photograph. Give people ID. You know. I just don't want it to get any worse.
I understand what you're saying, but believe me, I'm clearing my heart, and I know I haven't done anything. You know,
I'm gonna be honest with you, straight up with you. Okay. One of the reasons why I'm sitting here is for the other case, Miss Jennings. That's the reason they wanted me to come in here. And, there was no forced entry no recent forced entry that we could determine. More than likely, the person entered and left through the door with a key. She was probably, I don't know if she was in there at the time or the other person was in there at the time she came in, or she was already in there. But there's certain indications in there, and like I told you, I can't divulge all of it, but you understand that. But, this is nothing to compare with that.
I mean, but how?
There's a lot of evidence in that case. A lot of evidence.
I understand what about the evidence, but also, I haven't done anything. I know I haven't done anything. My heart and my mind is clear on that. I don't know what else to say. And see, no, I mean, that was a time where if I done something wrong and I got caught.
You lied better.
No.
Yeah.
Believe me, I look at my record.
I
I have told, I have
Not every time.
Every time. I've been locked up 4 times.
For what?
Huh?
For what?
Different things.
Burglary.
You know,
Come on now, we're being honest.
well, burglary. I've been locked up for burglary.
You've been locked up for rape. Been locked up for rape. Been locked up for robbery.
Okay, I'm gonna put even on
This is in your past.
rape, robbery. Oh, but see, you don't know my full page. You going by what's in this.
That's what I'm saying. I can see it on the paper.
Yeah, you see it on the paper. Even with the way here I am. I don't know, I was 13, 14 years old. Right? I'm with guys, hanging out in the street with guys that's older than me. And here I am, I'm the bad boy.
You told me you was baptized.
Yeah, I'm baptized in
And you
90.
go down in the water, you come back, you're supposed to be different.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I've been doing.
I just want to ask you that question, see if you'd be honest with me. I knew the answer to it. You know, we've run this thing every which way from loose. We've got computers down there. Okay, it's called Faces of the Nation.
Mm-hmm.
I can put your name in there, your date of birth in there.
Yeah.
And it'll
Bam, bring up everything I
It
know.
will track you wherever you
Yeah.
lived, wherever you stayed, whoever you met, your friends, your acquaintances, everything. Some people don't know about that, but it's true.
I know.
It's true.
I know that when y'all come up with this new computer thing about your fingerprint.
Mm-hmm. We can scan them things, man.
Yeah, you can scan.
We can even, and this is scary, we can even super glue a body and get fingerprints on the skin. There ain't no limit to what they can do.
I know, I know.
And that's what I said, there's a lot of evidence on Miss Jennings' case. There's a lot of evidence. And that's what I'm saying, if it's, and I really believe that was not supposed to happen. You know, I'm trying to avoid the word accident, and it may well have been an accident, but that wasn't supposed to happen. That lady wasn't supposed to be there. That just, it wasn't. I understand that. And I have gone through this scene a million times since it happened. I'm still holding the scene down there, and I'm still going through some of this stuff. But every indication that I have from it, you know, this was not supposed to happen. You know,
It's a
and
tragedy.
that's, huh?
It's a tragedy.
Yes, it was a tragedy. I mean,
We
got a lady that's 20 years old, just laying in the ground. We got a 2.5-year-old baby that didn't see mama again. And you know, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy all the way around. The person that's responsible for this, it's a tragedy for them as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's what I do. I go in and I rename states that made it schools and everything else. And you know, I don't know how much you follow a lot of these things, but every education, you know, I'm in that. And, one thing that I have learned over the years is evidence. The evidence. You can't beat it. I mean, it puts you there.
Mm.
And there's a lot of evidence, and we're waiting for a few things from the crime lab. There's a bunch of stuff there, and I will say that more than likely, they probably started out a burglary. And I think things got out of hand for one reason or another. But I honestly believe that's what it was. Her boyfriend, the boy she's living with now, ain't no way he did that. Ain't no way.
Like I said, I know you want to get you want all this stuff cleared up. I know that.
Yes, that's what I do.
That's what you do. That's your job.
But it's not anything. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here judging you because I'm not.
No, but see, right now you don't put it. You just put in my mind in my heart that one thing might lead up to another, you know, and I've been, you know, I have honestly been truthful with you, you know. Right now, I think it'd be best for me to not say anything
Well,
else.
I think if you feel pressure on me, we can.
No, it ain't no pressure. It ain't no pressure, but see, you make me think now that I might be a suspect in that.
Everybody's a suspect.
I know, but when you
Where
coming
I'm-
to me
where I'm
now,
coming from-
it's like,
Listen to me. Where I'm coming from now, we were just talking about that.
yeah, but
I
you,
thought that's what you meant.
no, I mean, you got me thinking. I mean, I
This
know,
is what we're talking to.
I know, I didn't do none of this, and I know I did. I ain't got to lie about it. I ain't got to. I mean, normally, you know, usually when I get locked up, I be scared. I be scared, and that scaredness make me tell on myself if I did anything wrong.
Let me put it to you this way. And I respect whatever you want to do. If you did any of these, hypothetically speaking, if you did any of these things, you don't need to make it worse, because I'm telling you, this boy that's working these things, he's doing a good job.
I understand.
He has some physical evidence. Okay. And I don't see how we get any deeper.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm being
Well,
straight
okay,
up.
I understand, Bob. I do understand. Whatever evidence he has, if he can, I mean, it's not me. I ain't done that. So I don't need to. I don't need. Hey, I don't need nothing that bad to go and interrupt, take something.
Well,
I'm entrusted
sometimes.
every day.
I know.
I ain't got
Sometimes,
no money. I ain't got no nothing. Say, hey, well, I ain't doing anything.
sometimes, you know, people get in positions where it just old stuff comes back up, and you know, you look over there and you're in the apartment, and you look over there, and there it is,
I don't
and
mean
you know, what they call
that.
that, klepto or something, kleptomania or something.
I mean, that person that got a problem.
Yeah, it's a
That person
sickness.
that got a problem.
It's a sickness.
And
You know, it's just like alcoholism or anything else. You know, it's an illness. You know, it's like gambling. You know, they got gamblings and not gambling.
and
This stuff. And the first thing that they have to do in order to get treatment is to say, look, I got a problem.
they admit to themselves they got a problem.
Well, not only to themselves, they got to seek out the help.
No, they
See
do
what
have
it's-
to.
Listen, I'm going to step outside and I'm going to see what they want to do. And I appreciate talking.
I appreciate talking to you, and I never met a man, you know, in this type of this field of work is more honest to me than you.
Hang on, okay.
All right.
You need anything?
Oh, nothing but a bag.
Nothing but a bag. I can't bag you, buddy.
All right,
Both
thanks, man.
get in trouble.
Calvin,
So,
could you hang my tie up for me, Calvin?
that's
You're a good man. I appreciate that. We were just digging through our files to see if there was anything that we missed. Okay. And I found something that that's very relevant and very important here. Okay. There's an incident that happened on sometime late January, early February, at apartment 516. Do you know which one 516 is?
I just told you about 516.
What did you tell us about 516? Did you tell me or did you tell Bob?
I told both of y'all.
Oh, okay. Tell me again about 516.
She the one who had the one I got from Beverly now.
Yeah.
She had some checks stolen out of her unit.
You came up with this on your own. We didn't ask you about that, right?
No,
Okay, go ahead.
I came up with on my own.
That's right. Okay,
So
go
I
ahead.
gave him a scenario.
Right. Go ahead and tell me about that again.
She had some checks stolen she said $5,000 something missing out of her account.
Right.
And
what? You're telling me, what you told us was that she reported some checks stolen.
yeah, and see.
And that somebody had drawn $5,000 out of her account from the stolen checks. Is that right? Is that what you told us?
Yeah. But see, all my information on that came from Maria.
Okay.
We had a meeting, we had a staff meeting about this.
Okay. Well, tell me about the meeting. What was happening in the meeting? Was somebody being accused or anything?
No, nobody being accused.
Mm-hmm.
She just told told us what was going on. The lady having an investigation going on about her check being missing and stuff like this.
Right.
And basically that was it. We talked about, each one of us gave our opinion on what might have happened,
Yeah.
And
what kind of opinions were given now? Because I remember you saying that was one of those cases where you thought that was like a false report.
No, not her.
No?
Not her.
Okay.
So
that one everybody believed.
Pissed off somebody that don't win her account.
Everybody believed in that happened in that meeting. In that meeting you had, everybody believed that actually happened.
Well, we don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
We wasn't there.
Yeah.
Maria showed me on paper
Right.
a police report that she had
Right.
about the girl. Had how much money been missing, $300 or something at one Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever catch check cashing at Walmart. See, that's a female.
Do you know her name offhand?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know her name.
Young, old.
Them girls in that apartment is young girls.
Right. Calvin, did you do any work orders in that apartment?
Yes, I have. Me and Doc both have.
You have?
Yeah.
Somewhere around the time when that happened? Do you remember?
We didn't do no work all during the time that happened.
Okay.
Right.
Had you already done some before that?
I had done before that.
Yes, already have done before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, all this stuff, that stuff happened
Mm-hmm.
after me and Doc had went in there.
Yeah.
So we had.
Well, see, this situation here. Tell me about the day that you were in this apartment at 516. Listen to me. Tell me about the day that you were in that apartment at 516 and the resident got up and caught you there. Tell me about that day.
I had a ticket for that.
She didn't know about it, no ticket.
We had a ticket for that.
You weren't supposed to be in that apartment that day. Tell me about what happened and why you were there.
I went in there and me and Doc had cut the hole out the seal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And the police went back in there and taped it up. I went in there, I taped and mudded that ceiling up.
And tell me about this girl coming on catching you in her place and you're not supposed to have been there. Tell me about that.
Who are you talking about?
At 516. Apartment 516. A young girl, a young lady.
Ain't nobody caught me. Look. Me and Doc went in there and put up 50 ducks for her.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And during that time,
right.
This round when we first started, Maria said, because sometimes we do stuff, we'll leave some undone and we'll go back in there.
Okay.
You see?
So what you're telling me then is when she caught you in the apartment and she was surprised and you weren't supposed to have been there in her opinion, right? Then what you're telling me is that you didn't have a work order for that day, but you were following up on some work.
I was following up on some work.
So that would have been
like sheetrock mud in my hand. Mm-hmm. I had sheetrock mud in my hand, my mud pan, and some tape.
But wait a minute now, because from what your own explanation as to how these work orders work, you have to write down the time of the day that you go in somebody's apartment. You can't just go in somebody's apartment without a work order.
We can't. We can't.
Okay, so are you
So
telling me then that you didn't do that you violated the policy and you went in without?
No, I didn't violate no policy. I
Okay,
didn't
so
violate no policy.
how did this work the day that this girl caught? She woke up and there you are.
We was in there the day before. We
Okay,
was in there the day before
on a work order.
on a work order.
Okay,
Okay, me and Doc had to leave because we couldn't complete the work order.
okay,
All right. I got the mud. I got a pan of mud, sheetrock mud, and some tape, and my mud knife.
right,
And I went up there and I mudded the ceiling. I'm in there mudding the ceiling.
right,
I'm mudding the ceiling,
okay.
and she comes out the bedroom. I knocks on the door. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm
I
listening
knocks
to
on
you.
the door.
I'm listening to you.
Then nobody answered the door. I walked in and said, "Maintenance,
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, yo." That's my routine.
Okay, then you were
I
out.
go into the laundry room.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the hole at? There's a hole about big as that square right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they had I mudded the top, and I left.
So
That's it.
So when she caught you there, were you already done mudding the ceiling?
No, I was no, when she hold up. She come in, what was I? Trying to get where I was. Oh, I was moving the stuff around in the laundry room,
What kind of stuff?
like the mop, garbage can.
Her stuff.
Yeah, her stuff. I was moving around to get it out of my way because you got this vent right here.
Mhm.
And if I step on the vent, I'm gonna crush it. For the intake, the air,
Mhm.
you know, like air conditioning.
Mhm.
And I'm moving that stuff
Okay.
so I can situate so I can mud the wall. That's all I
That-
did.
The wall that needed mudding was in the laundry room?
It was in the laundry room, in the ceiling, in the corner.
Okay. When she caught you there, when she saw that you were there and she was surprised, had you already finished the job?
No, I haven't.
Okay. After she caught you there, did you stay and finish the job, or
Yeah, I
did
stayed
you, or
and
did you
finished the
leave?
job.
You did.
I stayed and finished the job.
Does management know that you were there and were you supposed to be there according to management that day that she caught you in the apartment?
Yeah, management know. I
They
mean,
know you
see,
were there?
okay.
They told you you were
Understand this. Here.
Mm-hmm.
Understand this.
Yeah.
Here. Before all this stuff started going around
Right.
about these checks and stuff.
Yeah.
We virtually did, follow our work orders up like we doing our job.
Right.
We doing our job.
Right.
Okay, all this stuff started happening.
Right.
All this stuff started happening.
Uh-huh.
We started getting, let me see how to put this in. Maria started telling us, don't go in no apartments without a work order.
Okay. Makes good
Okay,
sense,
well,
right?
yeah, make a lot of good sense.
Yeah.
Make a lot of good sense because evidently, I didn't know what was going on in the office. I hardly ever know until I go up there and talk to them girls
Right.
as far as what's happening.
Right.
Okay, this particular job here,
Yeah.
it was hard for them people to get heat in there,
Right.
Doc went in there one day and just cut the ceiling out.
Mhm.
Okay, he found out that there was some ducts missing. I mean, it was torn apart.
Mhm.
Right? He couldn't get up in there. He couldn't get up in that crack there
Yeah.
to reach over and take the things up.
Right.
So he called me up there,
Right.
and we did that. And instead of us taping it back right then, after I taped it out,
Right.
we had to leave and go do something else. We had an emergency.
Hey, Calvin, just for your information, about the time that you were in this apartment is about the time that the checks came up missing.
Now,
No, I'm telling you that. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
well, I know you might be telling
No,
me.
I
but
am.
see,
I'm
the
telling
thing is, okay,
telling
I
you.
know. I
See, what the
understand.
thing is that we don't just have coincidences here. That's what I'm telling you. We don't just have coincidences
Also, I
here.
know what you're saying. I know
Well,
what you're
look,
saying.
what I'm trying to tell you is, because you want to be an honest guy, and you want to be honest with us.
I can't be no honest than what you.
You can't bring yourself to be quite honest with us. That's the problem here.
Hold on. I'm through. I ain't saying
Well,
nothing else. I ain't saying nothing else because I know. See, you trying to. Okay,
Okay.
this him. Just take this. Just
Go
take
ahead.
this in.
Go ahead.
I know my job, right? I know my job.
Right.
You wasn't there. You don't know how our system works.
Mm-hmm.
You do not know how our system works.
Mm-hmm.
On this particular job here,
Right.
okay, me and Doc was in there a whole day by ourselves. Understand that?
Right.
Doc,
But you were also in there by yourself, without Doc,
yeah,
on a day that there wasn't a
That's
work
right.
order.
That's right. On the day that I didn't have a work order, but I followed up on a work order. You understand what I'm saying?
You're saying you're following up on a work order.
I followed up on the work order.
So I'm supposed to understand then that it was a coincidence that you didn't take the checks. That's what you're telling me, right?
I ain't have no reason to take check. See, you trying to put me in a place for this. I don't have.
I just
no
want
reason
you to
take
be
no
honest
check.
with
I
me. That's all I want is for you just to be honest.
You think
with
I'm
me.
gonna sit up here and tell you that I've done something that I didn't do?
No, I don't want you to even do that. I'm not asking.
But that's what
trust me, I'm not
that's what
asking
you asked me. That's
I'm not asking you to do that.
That's exactly what you asking me.
Well,
That's exactly
I'm
what
trying
you
to
asked
make
me.
you understand what we're dealing with here. If it
I'm
was
an
one, if it was
intelligent, I'm an
one
intelligent
incident,
man.
I see that.
I'm a very
I
intelligent
see that
man.
you are.
This here work. This particular unit here.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I worked in there several times. I've been in there several times, mind you,
Okay.
prior to this work order, prior to my being in there.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sure I do.
I have been in that unit.
Right.
Man, because it was, I didn't know whether why she couldn't get no heat.
Right.
The doc didn't know.
Right.
And it was on the way he cut that ceiling out because he didn't want to change that furnace because it was the master bedroom was kicking out plenty of heat.
Right.
The living room was kicking out plenty of heat.
Right.
But when you get to these other two far rooms over here, the air wasn't blowing out. And if it was blowing, you barely could tell it. Just like you barely could tell it.
Well,
So
see,
that part miscast her head.
well, I tell you, here's something that's just concerning me, and I'll just tell you about what's concerning me here. You know, we've got some apartments where residents are calling and saying that
Also,
you
I
were in
know
their
that.
apartment when you weren't
I've been-
supposed to be.
No.
And one of them we talked
Okay,
about was
okay.
916. Remember?
Okay.
When we
okay.
talked about the light
I
bulb.
understand that. I understand that. I
And-
understand that.
And then there's this
Also-
one. I'm just trying to get through it so we understand. That's all
Look,
I'm trying to do.
I can't tell you no more than I already have. I did not take this woman's check.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I did not take her checks. I
Okay.
have no big reason taking nobody's check. Right now, I wouldn't give a damn if I was flat ass broke, and normally most of the time I am.
Right.
I say up in my apartment, all this stuff is being stolen. Look I ain't got nothing to show for it. Even if I took it, I ain't got nothing to show for it.
Okay.
Ain't nothing in my apartment that's new.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do is get an understanding. Because if
How
you don't
gonna
tell
get
me,
it from me?
well,
How you gonna get it from me?
because you're the one that people saw in their apartments
People see me all
without
the
work
time.
orders. Without work orders.
I have been, hold up.
That's why I need
hold
you
up.
to explain. To
I
me.
have been in a lot of apartments without work orders.
Well, I need you to explain it to me. That
You know,
otherwise I
Tom,
don't know. Otherwise I
We
don't
just started, but see what I'm saying? We just started this, not going in the work order. People have called me, stopped me on the spur of the moment, and I go in the apartment before all this stuff started coming about.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I have done that. Doc have done it.
Okay, but what you're talking about are apartments that you've gone into where at least you had a work order that you had started and needed to finish, right? I mean, you're not talking about apartments that you did not have work orders for, period, right?
I'm telling you, before all these checks and stuff start getting stealing, I have been in apartments.
Mm-hmm.
People have said, I need this and done, I need that done.
Right.
Bam, I go do it.
But it was always because
See,
somebody
Maria-
needed something. They needed
Yeah,
you there.
all of them need me there.
Right.
Okay, in the same scenario, I knew this here need to be done. I knew that ceiling, we just had we just cut the ceiling out the day before.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. That's this one. You're
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about.
that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I had time to go up there and do that ceiling. I knocked on that woman's door.
And then
I had the key, I knocked on
You
the door.
did have
I
the
had the
key.
key, I knocked on the door. And that day I told Doc that I went up there and murdered that ceiling. No questions asked. You understand what I'm saying?
Did she know that you mudded the ceiling, the girl that was in there?
Yeah, she was there.
Okay, so she saw you do it.
She saw me
you finish
do
the
it.
job.
She saw me finish the job, and I left. Makes so bad. I have talked to that woman. You know,
Since then? Oh, okay.
No, I have
Before
talked to her. Yeah, and she have came in on me and Doc before. That we was up in there. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I would work at time before all this stuff going on, and see. Right now, see you drum on without a work order. See, before all this and stuff happened, that's all we used that just by do. We'll have work orders. If people stop us, I'm very known out there. The people like me. I have gotten certificate from some of the residents.
Well, you've
out
proved
there.
yourself to be a hard worker over there.
Yeah,
Right.
and see, I look after my tenants.
Right. Well, that's
You know?
good, and that's what makes a good maintenance man, a 17-year man.
Yeah, and see,
You know what
that's
I'm
why I'm telling you, that's why right now our property, we don't have no tickets.
You're caught up. You guys are caught up.
We caught up with our punches.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
We have a very, very good crew, efficient crew, and that's the first time in a long time that these Ashley Lake have ever been this well staffed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Everybody works together.
trust me, I'm not saying you're not doing, a kick-ass job over there, because between you and Doc, I think you guys are accomplishing a lot of work orders over there.
We busting tail, man.
Let me step out, because I'm gonna, like I said, I just came upon this, and it was something I didn't have in that file before, and I wanted to ask you about it.
Can I ask you this here?
Yeah.
Are y'all charging me with something?
Well, no, just you're charged with the warrant that you're here on.
Okay.
We're just trying to get through some of this, and that's why we're asking so many questions. I'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Man, please. I need a bath. I'm stinking. Ugh.
The right to talk to a lawyer and to have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of them rights as I've explained them to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I chose not to talk.
Okay, then we're through. I can't talk to you no more, man.
I mean, this is fucked up. I know, I'm just talking off the bat. I done went through so much hell these past few days, and for this to happen to me, and knowing God knows, the Lord knows,
Yes.
I did not do this.
How long were you in your apartment before they came in on you?
I went in there 5 minutes. See, if y'all would, even if you got in touch with my folks, or got in touch with my mom, my brother, you know he's an Atlanta police officer.
Yeah, I know.
All you had to do was just tell him, hey, your brother been charged with this. I had no bet. I had no
walked in
reason.
there and talked to you. I would have walked in there and talked to you.
Yeah.
If you want to file a formal complaint about that, that's
No, I went in there. My
prerogative.
shit is towed up. Ain't nothing in my apartment. I haven't bought nothing. I don't. Oh, my family, my brothers, my son, my poor baby. Y'all got the wrong way.
No, I don't think so, Kevin.
No.
Because there was, I'm not at liberty to talk to you unless you want to talk to me.
What do that woman? No, I don't want to talk.
Okay.
I don't want to. Mr. King, I know you got your job to do.
Yes, sir. The only reason I had them brought up here when I found out you was in custody, I wasn't down there. Is, you know, I was hoping that we could sit down and talk about this thing and get your side of the story.
Nicky, I'm gonna tell you the way you coming to me, I appreciate it. Believe me, I really do appreciate it. You're not hostile. You're not that.
I told you the night
Police
where I was coming
type.
from.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. But please, sir, understand that I've been in trouble too many times not to know the seriousness of this case.
Well, this is a murder investigation.
It's a murder investigation.
Don't get
But
any
see,
more
that guy
serious.
told me, you're charged with murder. You're charged with murder. My boss standing there. And I'm telling him how much I love my job. I don't need nothing from nobody. I got a roof over my head. I got a nice job. It don't pay that much. But it keep a roof over my head. It keep me safe off the streets. I'm in and out of people's house every day. When they're there and when they're not there.
Okay.
I just don't understand. Well, I guess cause my record. I don't know, I might be the only one that probably got a
Your record
record.
didn't have a lot to play in it other
My
than
record.
that's,
Okay.
you know, but
I need to talk to my family. I need my brother. I need my brother. I need my brother. I need my brother. Officer King, it's no reason. Ain't no reason
like
for me. I mean, ain't no. What them people got that I want? What she have? What did this woman? This woman ain't never did nothing to me. Ain't never. I don't know.
well, I could explain it to you, Calvin, but
I don't know.
I can if you don't want to talk to me.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, damn. I done a lot of fucked up things in my life. And I know I have. I don't hurt a lot of people. But just not physically. But that's in my past. When I got out of prison in 93, I sit down with my brothers and promise them. And all they want me to do is just be on the street. Just don't leave us no more. I said, cool. I let the street go. I let them chicken head ass women go. I live by myself.
What?
Chicken head, that's what guy called women.
Chicken head
That
ass
ain't-
women?
Yeah, I mean, they ain't
I never heard that
street
before.
women that, you know, only thing they want is your money. Money and beat the bodies down, you know. But other than that, all I want to do is just live a medium life. That's all. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to own no damn fancy cars. I don't want no hellacious notes. What I'm doing now is fine with me. I have no complaints.
I understand.
I have no complaints, none whatsoever. The seriousness of this him. No.
Okay, what we're going to have to do is take you over next door. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand this, Mr. King. I'm Mr. King, Officer King. About
That's fine. I didn't hear what you said.
I'm not gonna give y'all any trouble.
I know that.
I'm not, you know.
That's why I took the handcuffs off of you downstairs.
Yeah.
Hey, you can walk up here like a man.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with you, Calvin.
I'm not a rich man. My folks ain't got no lot of money. If you can understand brain dead right now, it's
Well, you know that after an arrest like this with these kind of charges, that I think it's and we're just talking. It's you should have the opportunity to explain yourself, and what we have to go on now is evidence, that we've had been able
what
to.
evidence you can
Well, I
possibly have on me.
I can't talk to you about that now because you invoked. So I mean, that's why I wanted to sit down and talk to you.
I have nothing else to say, sir.
Yes, sir. I understand.
I don't know
You
what
need
to-
anything? Any kind of? You need to use the restroom? Want a cup of coffee? Want to smoke a cigarette?
Listen, I ain't bathed in 4 days. In 4 days. For a charge that's, again, thinking with my Peter, trying to help some chicken head ass woman. That means it's no good, but I lay in the sack. I'm going through that, and now this. When I started to turn my life around, just say, hey, just living ain't hard. Just living, it's not hard.
I understand. I understand.
And that's all I want to do is just live.
And I think that's
Why
all
should
we
I
all
want
want
to take somebody else's life?
This young lady wanted to live too.
I know she wanted to
She got a
live.
2.5-year-old child that's going
She
to
got
grow
a
up with
beautiful
her.
child and a boyfriend that I know that man loved her.
Sure he did.
The way they were acting when I was
Well,
I seen
they had
them
to bury
twice.
her. They had to bury her.
They had
That's,
to bury
that's,
her.
a, that's a sad statement in life, but that's fact. So, if you don't need anything,
And I'm thinking about 2 things. It's just him. And I don't know where I got this from. I think I got it from Doc or Maria or somebody up in the office. I take lunch at 12:30 every day. Sometimes I stay in the house a little bit longer than I should on my lunch break. I'm through, so I'm through. I don't, my folks gonna freak. They gonna freak, slap out. They gonna freak, totally slap out. I'm 15-year-old boy. I was son. I don't know what evidence y'all have to put this charge on me.
I wanted to talk to you about that, but I can't. So.
Yes, sir.
Not at this point in time. That's
Not unless you say you want to talk to us. Can we talk to you?
Right now, I don't want to talk.
Okay.
I don't want to talk.
That's fine. I mean, that's
I need to talk to my brother. Because I know damn well. I mean, it's the Lord knows. Excuse me, because Lord knows.
Okay. Well, if you'll excuse us for just a minute, we'll be right back
Yes,
in
sir.
here, and we'll take you over.
You gonna take me over?
Yes, sir. I'll ride you over if you'd like for me to.
Yeah.
As long as you behave yourselves on my only
Yeah.
rule.
You had my word as a man.
Okay.
My
I'll
word
take
as
that.
a man.
I'll take that.
So,
Okay, well, just hang on. You need the restroom or coffee or anything? Okay,
Hey,
take a
tell me
couple.
this, him. Could you do this?
What?
Could you do this, My brother's fell off. Could you call him?
I
Could
can't
you-
right now, but if you want me to call him, I will give him a call. If you'll provide the telephone number. But I'm not gonna
Cause
discuss the case
I know
with
it's
him.
gonna be.
You know, I'll deliver any message that you would like. But, you know, I'm not gonna expound on the investigation.
I know you can't.
But I'll deliver any message that you want. You think about it just a minute, and I'll be right back with you. You can give me the phone number and I'll call.
That's all right.
You just think it over just a minute.
That's all right.